We'll see you Monday.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 2 o'clock, couple hours left on pretty interesting Friday afternoon here as we continue to kind of chop around, grind even back to the upside. We have gotten positive as well on the day, right across the board. All three U.S. markets back to the green side, which is good to see. 0.1 only for the S&P, but hey, we'll take it. 0.07 for the Dow, the NASDAQ 0.2. It's been another one of those kind of chop fest middays. Back to the upside though overall on a grindy kind of day. 0.5% there for crude oil. 1 for Bitcoin now to the downside, a full 3% in the red for Ethereum. There it is, 0.15. It's really just the banks, when you zoom out a little bit, that are limiting the overall upside right now. So individual names, insurance companies, and financial services all downside outside of. FRC is the only one in that group in positive territory. I chuckle, but they're going to report next week. So that's going to be interesting. We get a ton of regional banks, again, coming through next week on the earnings front. Healthcare stocks are green. Consumer discretionary names are green. Transportation names, specifically in the industrial group, providing a little bit of lift outside of JBHT and UAL downside. Consumer discretionary names positive. Consumer staples, communication, utility, and real estate all back to the upside. You can see where the negativity is. Energy, materials, and as I said, some of the banks. That's about it. But hopefully we'll see. Lyft just popping up on a volume spike there. Heads up. Hopefully we can hold on to these gains as we head towards the weekend. Hope your afternoon is going well. We will, as always, jump into a bit of a review as to what we were discussing. If you're with us in the pre-market this morning, a ton to talk about. A ton that was moving around, including Tesla, including some of the chip names, including some of big tech, which we're going to hear about coming up here in a second. Sean's going to give you a look at one of the trades he was dealing with this morning. But it's been all about tech trying to lead. In fact, after when we came in this morning, it was actually leading to the downside. So a bit of a reversal. But let's get into it. Sean's going to lead the way with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Hey traders, look, it's always nice to start your trade of the day when the stock you're going to talk about right now is taking out day's high. Your trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World. Make sure you scan that QR code below and start your trading journey with Day Trade the World. Look, I have the sticky note on here. I'm going to throw it away in a second, but the number one name here is Amazon Long 105. With Whole Foods layoffs and restructuring, I like the long. Stay and get long is what we talked about. And I mean, I just want to talk about this 105 print. So it's a little frustrating here because I'm not still long, and it didn't happen fast enough for me today, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's my number one name, and we're going to talk about it. This is why we like the 105. It's pretty simple, man. We saw Amazon the last couple of days. Lots of active movements to the upside. Every single pullback on Amazon was because of the market. So at the end of the day, the market starts falling, right? We've seen that the last couple of days. We went downside. So what happens to Amazon? Obviously, it keeps retracing back. But today, we opened up, and I wrote down 105. Then all of a sudden, which way should I go? This way, I guess. In the pre-market here, you could see happening right into here. We just started breaking above, man. We started coming here. That break happens like so super early, like 8 o'clock, 8:30. Then we start to go back up to the upside. We sort of level off a little bit here at 106 and change. And what happens is we actually really just start to take off. Then when the market finally opens, which is this volume area, we're starting to fall back in. So this is where, because we wanted to get and stay long Amazon, I wasn't sure if we were coming back to the 105 area. So this is why it's not as profitable as maybe it should be, because we start to go long here, 106, 105.50. We start playing off some of those pre-market highs of 105.50 and everything. And it's like, frustration. So when it comes back up to the upside, we just start getting too much out. We get them pretty much all out at 106. But the thing about this trade of the day and why it's special really is trust what you're doing yourself, because it does come back in. There's the 105 marker from the other screen. That's 105. Comes right in. That long is 105.5. That's what we're long right now. So when we get that in there, sure, it's probably our largest position, and it's a great trade. But the problem is I have too many buys in the middle. So when it starts popping back up, like that's a 105.05. These outs are 105.50. So we're still making 30, 40, 50 cents. Then when it goes up 60 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents, then it kind of hangs around here. You can't see because there's so many executions. But if you look at your chart between 10 and 11, Amazon doesn't do much. It kind of is just hanging out. And the market down here trying to go, eventually goes, and that's when Amazon just keeps on trucking to the upside. Now we're breaking out from day's high, and if you even look back here at the 20-minute chart, there's air up here. You could just keep on going forever and forever and forever. Probably not forever. Forever? But anyways, all the way up, straight up to the upside there, 108, comes in, stops. We're going to see, we're still in 10% of this as it's looking at the day's high. But it's all about trusting who you are, trusting your own notes. And then realistically, sometimes you got to hold for that dream. And I'm just not doing a great job. I knew I wanted to. The sticky note literally says stay long. And then it goes all the way to the upside. And I have a very, very small piece when this happens. But the key is be patient. When you get the trade that you want, see if it has room to breathe. And Amazon did, and it is your trade of the day.
And a great one, once again. I pushed it twice, but it still worked. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you sign up for that every single day, guys. Use the QR code, enter your email address, go to watchlist.tradertv.live. Super easy. Gets you everything you need to know in the pre-market. Before it is happening, a few people mentioning this JYD. That was that IPO today, little tiny low float IPO, comes all the way back to 5. Just popped up again, but not really doing much. Volume kind of dying off on that as well. I mentioned this one, Lyft, right when we came on. Here's why. Some job cuts coming. The CEO saying in an interview, they will significantly cut jobs in restructuring for Lyft. So there was a bit of a pop. It kind of died off quickly, but Lyft moving around a little bit as well. We started the day and started the morning off talking about Meta on a couple of fronts. One of them on the job cut angle as well. Zuckerberg coming out once again saying they're going to continue to cut jobs and continue to focus on slowing hiring and controlling costs. That was from the Wall Street Journal this morning. It was down, however, in the pre-market. I mean, one of those days where you could have maybe had an opportunity at some point, guys, but Meta kind of shopping around a little.
I accept transparent trading. First of all, that was my bad with the forever ever comment. Like if someone says forever, I just.
No, that was fun. That was great.
I know. I'm like forever ever.
Yeah,
How do you
like,
not?
Forever ever? I mean, I heard you. That was all good. I like
Well,
that.
not everybody could know that. Obviously, someone off camera is going to make that comment, and then Sean, you have to respond.
The best part about it is people might be thinking that, and then you were thinking it, and then I responded.
We were all thinking.
Yeah, it's all good.
We're all thinking it. I was thinking about Meta at 208.
By the way, do you have something prepared in case we get 1,500 likes?
Yeah, I can do something.
Okay, you guys want to see something? 1,500 likes. Let's go. Go ahead on Meta. I just want to get people pumped up. It's Friday. We're feeling really good again today, and
you ain't got no job.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't got no money. You ain't got
Friday.
You ain't got ish to do.
The day after 420 as well. So there's lots to do here.
Oh, that's right.
Anyways, okay. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to let people know we got to get the likes up.
Yada, yada, yada. What's funny about Meta this morning is I was really just thinking about, I thought we might break down and see like 208, which was a big level on the 15-minute. Forget about that. You have yesterday. Right now, let's consider the afternoon because I didn't trade Meta, so let's think about the double bottom and the weekly bottom as well, 212.50 to about this 213 because that's where we're at. Like we're up at the high of the day and you're trying to continue. The NASDAQ's trying to hold these highs. The ES is just broken as well. And Meta is right into that kind of supply zone, what was support and possibly turning into resistance and going red to green. Like all three things can be happening at the same time. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think you want to fight this one necessarily. So I need to see this like fail, maybe continue. Like I'm short NVIDIA off the highs because NVIDIA had that little bit of news. Peloton because it's Peloton, and C3AI. C3AI broke 20, which if you don't know what that is, then that's just a monster level. But Meta's starting to show signs of rejecting that top. It is yesterday's support level, so I think there is an opportunity for it to roll back in here. Probably better as a dip buy closer to VWAP than chasing the highs based on what I see.
All right. Meta, yeah, look, Meta's, there was that 213 level there on Meta. I'm just looking, I'm getting more short. I just want to talk about Google just real quick because I do have an offer out. So I am short right here at 47. We've been taking it out. We put on a good trade here at 60 as well, and then we started to cash it out at 105. It has bounced off 105 pretty clean. I do see people in the chat talking about takeoff time for Google. I do believe that that is possible. So I want to just try it one more time right here. I think it's a rinse and repeat type of thing. We went short here. We let it go all the way down, hits 105. We started cashing some out. I thought it was going to break 105, to be honest with you. And then we took another short averaging into the position. And then we haven't, there we go. Now we got a full position now for Google. I mean, full for the afternoon. This is not a morning position. But for right there, you know, 104, and I'll talk about that actually, the morning positions versus what I'm doing now. I'll tell you when we have a lot of shares. Like, for example, we have about half the shares right now that we did on Amazon by the time Amazon came down to 105. Right now we're scalping. You can see the zone that you're in. When you're day trading, it's just like that example that I gave there, you for the trade of the day. You know, when you get a position and there's room to breathe on it, you got to give it that room. The only thing now is the market is starting to sort of head higher here. And I think we're actually taking out a decent range right now. Yeah, I mean, we just did take it out. So we just busted out through 13.1. And then now the rest of the day is a afterthought because now you're starting to make new areas up here, right? So you sort of barcode around 13.1, we bump it up. Now we're doing this, and we have had some drops the last couple of days, you know, into the close, some moves one way or the other. And it's just, I'm not going to be caught on Google off guard here. If it wants to go to the upside, then we're going to get out at 60. So let's see if that triggers. It's a new order type, so I'm interested to see. I know Neil and I have gone back and forth with talking about order types. I had it fail on me a couple times, but I just want to make sure that I'm putting it in right and talking about it properly. So, all right, quickly on Meta here before we go. I was going to say 213 I think is a long. It's right there right now. I haven't done the work on this. I've left it alone for a bit. But whenever you come back into yesterday's close, I like that. I like breaking it. It's going, this is literally what it's called, going from red to green. And when a stock can do that, then it's like, okay, now people can start turning on the buy button because now all of a sudden, if you're not long down here and this takes off, you may have to answer questions on why we're not long Meta when the market was up 1%. So if the market keeps on going up, there's going to have to be some buys on Meta. But to me, maybe now that I look at this, maybe it doesn't have to break because you have a lot of consolidation back here at 213. Maybe it's actually 214. That seems like a little bit of a better long. But either way, 210, man, that's a pretty key level no matter which stock you're looking at. You know, even 10s, whoa. So that comes right back into there as well. Should have been a trading zone. 210. I don't know if the guys on the midday show had it. Maybe Sharif can talk to us about that. We were in a meeting pretty much all afternoon. But that's a great long, and I hope, because it came right back into the pre-market levels right there. This is exactly the best trade that was missed today. I don't even have to look at any other trades. I know there's an AMD bottom that I punched out on that I should be back in, but I don't see much better than this. Nice move up, comes right back into the pre-market bottoms, which happens to be a key level. 210 should have been a long. I didn't have it. One. Did you have it?
No, I didn't have that, but my missed opportunity, just only because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So like the first trade I had yesterday was LVS into a dip into 61, and then it made the tops. Today, what do you think it did at the open? It dipped into 61, held, and then ripped to the high. I don't have it, but it happens sometimes. Like
it does.
That's the thing we know this about 9:30 trading.
To the best.
Like you are monitoring a small number of stocks at 9:30, and you cannot take them all. And what happens is you can like 6 or 7 setups, but the first 2 or 3 that come in, it's like, ooh, I like that. Boom, you take it. That's the issue. Like I probably wasn't looking at LVS. I should have been. I wasn't really that focused on Meta either because I was just focused on some other names out there. But that's fine as long as you're
or red. Oh, I got to get in this.
As long as they work, it's fine. But let's get back down to the rundown here because there's a big one. And probably the reason why some of the chip names were struggling today was TSM.
I just dropped 20% of my bet on green for the day, of my holdings.
I don't even know how much I have. I should check that.
All right, before we get in trouble, Brendan at the big days. Oh, Sharif, tell me you had 210. Maybe you did not.
Sean, I didn't trade Meta today. I traded Google instead, 105, bottom, baby, 60 pennies in the money.
There you go.
Awesome.
Also awesome. Sharif is here.
Hey.
And is going to be joining us in the afternoon going forward, guys. We're super excited to continue to build and continue to make things bigger and better and provide more information, provide more quality right across the board. So Thank you. Shout out to
Great to be
Sharif
here.
doing the heavy lifting. Let's talk Apple, because we were just saying, I mean, that's Apple? Like, I mean,
Muted.
really? Not much to see here, really, for
Not at
Apple
all.
today.
Google and, well, not Google, Tesla and Amazon did the heavy lifting this afternoon. If there was a market, if the market needed pulling, it was them doing the pulling, Brendo. So Apple taking the day off.
Yeah, we were discussing this in the sense that TSM reports, it was actually not a bad report, but in their forecast, they pointed towards slowing growth or slowing demand as far as smartphone sales are concerned. So it was a bit of a question mark whether or not it was going to be any kind of effect. Answer is no.
Right.
I don't think Apple could be moving less right now. My chart's kind of jacked up on it too. I have the crazy wick. I just try to get rid of it, but I can't. But if I go to the 15, there's nothing here on Apple. If you had 164 early, like that was previous support, and what are you, like 165? There was one move. You're basically sideways the entire day. Like the real story, I think, with that was TSM. And so this is something that, quite frankly, I wanted to short on TSM. I didn't get it. And we shorted NVIDIA a couple of times, and that was the chip name that we ended up with the shorts in. But it should have been TSM for this reason. Regardless of what you think about the report, the market's reaction to the report was for it to break out in a big way off of consolidation, kind of make a big run, get back to 88, then gap down into 88, essentially spending 1 day post earnings trapping longs, trapping breakout longs, trapping dip buyers in there. Like if you dip bought this at 89, held on to some, or bought it at the close thinking it had support, all of a sudden you wake up and it's like, okay, well, we're going the other direction off of earnings, and then it just flushes at the open on those long-term concerns. It's a short I wanted. I wanted to short up at 89. I thought maybe we'd pop in the morning. We never really got that. I ended up shorting NVIDIA instead. I guess we're not going to get to that, so maybe I'll talk about it now, because I didn't have an Apple trade. NVIDIA chart's messed up too. So there we go. NVIDIA kind of did the move to the downside first, but it was the first one to come back, so I didn't get the short initially, thinking we'd be playing off 71. I ended up playing off 70 to 67. Then it did this move, breaking out at 70. I missed the 71 short, came all the way back down, then 71 set up as a level. Now here's where it gets a little interesting, because I was kind of scalp trading it off the 71 level. Like it was giving you above 25s into 50s and then giving you 71s. And in the midst of doing that, I had my stop, I had an offer to get more, and I was talking to Pratt, and I wasn't watching the screen. And then the news happened on NVIDIA, and I heard the guys go absolutely nuts about it, and I was out at 69. So that happened, and then NVIDIA came back, and then I kind of worked back into the short here, which I'm in off of the 71 level. So it's kind of ridiculous. If you're away from your desk for 2 minutes, like something like that can happen. It's kind of absurd, but every now and then that's what can happen if you're in the middle of something and news hits. So I don't have a trade for TSM this afternoon. Apple's not moving whatsoever. NVIDIA should be on the move. I do like this one. I'm just going to mention one more thing, because we are not going to talk Peloton. And Peloton was screaming to the upside all day today. Kind of still is. I did short it twice. First time off yesterday's high, back in a VWAP. I've shorted it a second time here off of yesterday's high, and it could take out that top. Peloton's strong. A lot of things are strong in the market today. Peloton just happens to be one of them. I took the opportunity to short it once. I maybe should have stopped at once. We'll see on Peloton. I'm short right here at 48. The top is 52.
Yeah, we're about to get blasted out of Google here as well very soon. But because we're talking about Apple here, just real quick, let me just show you guys something. This is what it's all about. This is the open on Tuesday. Rip off 166. Okay, well, that's not going to happen again, is it? Here's the open on Wednesday. Rip off 165 straight to the upside. Here is the open on Thursday. Rip to the upside off of 166. Here's me today. Rip to the upside off 165 at 166.50. You know, I mean, sometimes it is that easy, to be honest with you. We've been talking about it. Oh, I left my sticky note, but I have it right here. Apple's not even on here, but every single day we come in and we do the first show at 8:30 to 9:30, and I talk about Apple's strength. Why? I like what they're doing in India. Why? I like what they're going to report next 2 weeks. I think that they're going to have a big report. Apple continues to work. huge moves up. Now, of course, as Neil said, barcoding, but we like it so much, we hit it there, and then we hit it again. But it did dip down, it broke that 165, we got a piece out, then we did that move where we're holding, we held, we got another piece out at the high of the day, or the high of that move again. So, you know, that's 4 days in a row that Apple went off the jump. So we'll be doing that back and forth, as many times as we possibly can. Google just went, and almost punched us out right there. I don't think Google actually did that stuff, but it went to 105.59 right there. Then made that move back down. I feel a little silly if I don't take out something right now. That was pretty lucky to have just gotten missed right there off of a failed NQ break. So I'm, again, probably should have got some out there, but it goes all the way to the upside. Now it's coming all the way back in. Hey, look, man, I think Google can break this and then head to the downside. What first has to happen is this market has to break first. So hopefully that can come through.
That's happening.
I have bids. I have bids around here. So I have bids at 43. You just saw me put it there. Then I have bids. Hit it. Just hit. Thank you. We also have bids down here at 34s, obviously, which is right where this line is. And then hopefully we'll, actually that's changing it. That's 36, so I'm gonna go to 37. All I'm doing every time here is getting out of 10%. And then eventually, once it breaks this level, that'll be my last 10% down here at 32. And then we wait for 105 flat. So I'm liking this Google trade right now. We just put it on. So there it is. We put one trade on. I feel like I should have been waiting for that and be patient on these moves maybe. But let's see if Google wants to work. Hey, man, the market doesn't fail. This won't work. But right now, Google short, looking pretty strong. I do not want to go against you guys that are long on this name. So we're punching ourselves out if it takes that level.
All right, let's go to Tesla. A few interesting notes, including this one that just came out going back an hour or so ago. Jury finding Tesla autopilot feature did not fail to perform safely in Los Angeles civil car crash. That was, I want to say, fall of last year that started, or we first heard about that story, and then it's just kind of been lingering. So there you go. That's just coming across. There was this as well this morning, which was more interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, Miss Wood in there yesterday, picking up a ton of Tesla shares, 256,000. Wow, on the way down.
Yeah, just a few shares there, Brendo. But like you said, the headline right there, Tesla price increase, question mark. It's interesting because what we just saw the other day was a price decrease on their big names, the Model Y, the Model 3. And I asked Danielle Shea, I said to her, I'm like, is it good, is it feasible that Tesla is expanding into Monterey, expanding into China with a new battery plant there, with their margins shrinking? Is that the move? And she was like, no.
Yeah.
She didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it's just one perspective, but we got Randy right there looking at me. He's making me feel nervous because I know how much he loves Tesla.
That's what Randy does.
Yeah, right?
Don't worry about Randy.
No, but in all seriousness, yeah, definitely left to be seen.
Yeah, and there was that note I put on the watch list this morning as well regarding the investor group that had some concerns that Elon was actually doing too much and was, because of that, degrading the overall EV industry. So that kind of ties into what you were saying a little bit. But 1.6%, I mean, it's definitely among the strongest here today, guys, for Tesla.
Yeah, there's no question. Oh my goodness. Literally at the end of that sentence, Randy, he was standing right there in the studio, and he just says, told you, and then he walked away. Come back here, Randy. Randy always...
was that like a mic drop moment?
Randy always knows when we're talking EVs. It's he was not out here.
Man, get this guy a seat on the trading floor.
He just shows up, and all of a sudden he's here the second we're talking about Tesla. Every single time, I swear, without fail. Now, look, Tesla wasn't the one I wanted to dip buy for because it didn't get to 160. So there really wasn't a heck of a lot that I liked outside of yesterday's bottom. So I saw this. I said, okay, fine. If it gets down to 160, we'll go dip buying. But there was something that hit a low that, to me, made all the sense in the world. I'll go to NEO because I'll show you the daily chart in NIO. This is why I like NEO a little bit better. It's flat on the day now, but this is $8 on NIO. And when you see a level like this, it's hard not to say, okay, I'm going to take my shot if it gets down to $8. The only thing that sucked is it didn't get down to like 02 or 03. It actually bounced off 5, and I got 6. I never had a chance to get all in. I was sitting at 6. I had bids at 4. I had bids at 2, and I had a bid at 1, and then obviously it only filled the first one. So it got back to the upside. I took it all out kind of in front of the previous low, ends up now riding VWAP and holding trend. I don't think there's a trade here in the afternoon because it's Chinese ADR. It's already not moving. Tesla probably a little bit more interesting. And as far as Tesla goes, it's now holding above 165. I think if it can do that into power hour, the long really does set up for the final hour. I don't know if I want to rush into it just yet because it's really not breaking out or showing me enough volume, but above 165 is that key price for me. But I got C3AI to worry about, and I got NVIDIA to worry about as well. Oh, I got a bid while we were a little take profit, about 40 cents on NVIDIA while we were talking there, but that needs to crack that 270 to look a little bit better. Ooh, I just got another fill on NVIDIA.
Oh, good. I'm down with
that.
that.
I just got another one at VWAP there. So if we can break VWAP, I think NVIDIA probably holds a 269 news-based low, but that's starting to come back in. So I'm not rushing to get any of the longs at the top. Longs at the top have not really been all that good this week, quite frankly. It's been successful to try to find resistance levels when we're not really breaking out in the afternoon, because every single day we go bottom to top over and over. No point trying to make a move happen that doesn't want to.
So we just got some more shares out on Google. That went to the downside as well. Look, right here on the sticky note, man. I mean, I'm not going to thank you. I think one person bookmarked it today, so that's good. Look, so we have on here Amazon. We talked about that I didn't even discuss the Whole Foods thing when I made that trade, but here it is right here. Amazon long 105. We talked about that. AMD long 89. We'll check out that. AMD is my #1 stock today, so think about that. And then Tesla long 160. We talked about ARK believes that this thing probably was buying this, held it at 160 yesterday. We'll look to that level again. I mean, it's pretty simple there. Thanks to everybody that had liked and shared and retweeted over 12,000 views on the sticky note. So thank you to everybody for that one. Look, again, the other thing is that we talked about what direction it was. We had Tesla long written on here. We had the direction completely right. We had the price right. It just never filled us. It came down to 161. I told you in the pre-market we only had a few pending orders. We were at 160.50 because there's 160.50 right there. So I just wanted to say that was yesterday's bottom, and I was sitting there to get long. Didn't come in, so it's all good. But that's a trade that I liked right there. Now you got to look to say, what are we doing here? So we took out the day's high right now. We are about $1 above that. That's about as high as we got was exactly as high as we got was 166. So if you go back to yesterday, there's a lot of consolidation between 166 and 168. So I feel like there's really not a trade into there because when you get into this area, I feel like there's a lot of buy and sell in there. So that's kind of where we are right now, back and forth. I still feel like this is not a safe long until you break 170 again. Otherwise, it's a scalp. So if you want to break out like we got on Amazon today, up $3 from 105, it needs to happen right here. Although you could get $3 right now and go back up to the upside. And if you are playing the long, it's been pretty good off this 200 period. So if we zoom back in a little bit to see where that 200 period is, that's at 165 flat, which makes a lot of sense because you're back into there. Look, dip, no, reject, upside. So you could come into here again, 165 might be a decent long there for Tesla, but for me, I'm hoping for the short. I'm way more shares here in Google than in anything else, obviously. My Amazon trade is what it is. So we'll see if this can come down. Short. We just got to fill at my VWAP, by the way, I took it off because it wasn't working on this platform. I do use Trade Ideas and eSignal to look at that as well, so I still am on that. But there's that 200 period we just bounced off. So that's why we got that out at 36. So hopefully we come back in, we can fill again. I'm still waiting for 33, and then I'm waiting for down here. Area target between 15 and 20 in this area for Google.
All right, let's go to Context Logic. We were just discussing the fact that this had quite the move out of the gate this morning. Nice push through that high from after the close yesterday. But then we get the low volume fade all day long. Sounds like a haircut.
It does. I just come to my chart for a second because this is very interesting. After market yesterday, we kind of consolidated with a bottom around 880, and that's where we closed at 8 o'clock. Look where we're right back at now, right back at that level, 880. I don't know if this is an area of support, Brendo, but we've been holding this a while.
Yeah, back to the downside we go, guys, for Wish. But what a move out of the gate this morning for that.
Oh, it was wild. So if you were watching the morning show, which I hope you were, and if you weren't, you should be watching the morning show. I spent pretty much the entire morning short Bed Bath & Beyond and Context Logic, one of which, actually, check that. Yeah, one of which I'm still in. I barely have anything left on Bed Bath & Beyond. But Context Logic, I had one kind of idea here, which was if it breaks back, since the split, the price that it failed on the split reverse was at $10. So I was really just looking for one thing and one thing alone. I wanted to see the short at 10. In front the first time I had, this is kind of hard to see. I'll go to the 3 minutes so you can see better. I just wanted to show you guys the post-split prices. So when it started to slow down here in front of 10, I took the first short, got some out at 950, all was looking good. Then it ran the tops here. And then this is where, so this is, it's interesting. It's on the same 3 minutes here where it runs the stops, fails this top, and I'm like, oh, jump back into it. So this is actually, that happened first, then that happened second. Then it ran the highs again, and then I shorted more of the consolidation right underneath $10. So I got right underneath 10, and then just held it pretty much all the way back into 880 every single quarter. Relatively simple. And then the other one, which was very similar to this, was Bed Bath & Beyond. And if you know anything about Bed Bath & Beyond, the last couple of days have been a little bit interesting. Breaking out, goes past 50 cents. We did short it this day. I did not short it yesterday, which is kind of dumb. I don't know why I didn't. But then look at the range. 2 days in a row. It pops at the open. I know I want it short into that high. I got it a little bit early. It ran the stops. I wanted to see it test a bit higher. It never did. It did not break that 38 to get into 40. So I just jumped right back in it at 36. I'm still holding a piece back under 30 even. So it's more about, like, I was anticipating shorting the pops in both these names. Just waited for the level to come in. Don't short it early. Try to short it late. It's not always easy. But those are the two I was kind of laser focused on at the open, to the chagrin of missing out on Las Vegas Sands and that 61 long, which kind of sucks. Like, that was, these earnings plays have been fantastic. You know, they've been giving you great breakouts. Procter is an example, LVS was. But Wish, to me, it's a fade when it pops. It's just a matter of waiting to the right price.
All right, no Wish for me. I've traded 5 names today. We're going to go 5 for 5 on them, including the TQQ and NASDAQ coming through right now. This was one that I'm glad we got out of the way. We shorted the NASDAQ right there. Was able to take some good profit, man. Look at that right down there. That's a 62 fill off of an 80. And then we busted the high of the day right there and got out of the rest. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Probably, I don't know. I think we're actually in the meetings at this point. But we took out that 2690 level and we got punched out. So that's the TQQ. Very, very successful trading on that one. Come on, Google. You got to get to the downside right now. As there it is. Let's go. We'll just do a little bit of money bag action right here because hopefully Google can come back in, starting to get into our range right now. And let me get in my zone down here to 105.25. We're getting ready to rock and roll here. So hopefully Google does make that move down. We broke the 200 period. We broke the 50 and we respected that. Look at, like, man, sometimes, like, I complain about, you know, getting those fills or just not getting them or making top or making the bottom or whatever we make. But right there, man, the fact that we didn't break that 60, that is pretty lucky. Like, that area is right there. And that was what I was using as the top because we had already shorted. Like, look at these shorts there. Boom, right to the downside. That was the biggest trade for me, but we were lucky. Okay, now we're starting to get excited to the downside right now. I said, this is my problem and my problem only, where I say I'm going to wait for a move down, but then when this explodes to the downside, I'm like, I see profit, let's take it. So we'll take another 20. Oh, we didn't get 26 there. See, right now I'm going to punch. Am I going to get it or not? Yep, there we go. We got it. Okay. So we get some 26s there, and now it's starting to move down. So my next bid's actually at 22. We still have 65% of this trade. So hopefully it comes back in and starts to filling us a little bit lower than right now. But that's a good trade, man. We just put this on. Now we're 25 cents in the money, which is decent here for Google, considering the market starting to break down. All right, China weakness abound here today as some of the ADRs are moving around, Brendo.
Yeah, you can say that again. Baba, we were just talking about the fact a lot of these charts look very similar after a certain time of day this morning. Alibaba gets the flush treatment out of the gate this morning, takes out that 89, and then, I mean, hey, gave you a trade down to 88.5. What more can we ask for? Gave you a trade. But yeah, not much volatility. There wasn't much in the way of news catalyst when it comes to these this morning, outside of the fact that geopolitical headlines, tensions between the U.S. and this part of the world continue to sit on headlines every day.
Yeah, the Yellen sell-off continues, guys. BABA having another worse day, down 2%. It was down into the right, and then we're holding at VWAP. Brendo trying to hold that 89 level.
Yeah, not much to do outside of the first hour here, guys, for Alibaba.
Yeah, I took the break. I had my stop, kind of like one of those patented breakout to range bound, I guess, bottoms on BABA. So I was in, I was out. It just never followed through. I never got into the short. I just spent that time waiting for NEO to get to $8 so I go long that stock. I suppose going long NEO would have been the same thing as going long BABA at the bottom, but NEO $8 was a little bit more enticing. I do want to answer two questions. One, easy one first. Well, they're not difficult questions, either one of them. Renata, I did add to my AI. I wasn't never stopping out at 20. Oh, by the way, the reason why C3AI short, that's not really a tongue twister. I don't know why I just struggled with that.
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
C3AI. No, not really. You're right.
Not really. But $20 on the daily chart. If you haven't noticed, something happens when the stock usually gets 20 bucks. That didn't really happen today. Well, at least it kind of didn't happen. So it broke that 20 finally. So I'm into the short. I didn't get it on the way down, and embarrassingly enough, it's because we don't have free locates on C3AI, so I had to pay for shorts. I was long in front of it. I tried to reverse, and when the order rejected, I was like, oh, that's right, Neil. You stared at the same level for a month, and then you didn't pay for the locates when it broke. But I'm into it now, but I'm not getting out of it just because it broke back above 20. It has to get past that previous support area, at least at 2020 even. I want to give this a shot. I'm going to keep shorting into this and then scalping it out to the low of the day. The other question was, and it was a Rashal asking in the chat, how are we able to get out multiple times and not get chewed up by fees? So we're trading on a prop floor. So we have direct market access. Our fees are basically nothing as day traders. We're not really, we pay like pennies per execution. Yeah. It's not the same as retail where you might have to pay per execution and you have limited ability to do that. So that is a very big difference. Want to be upfront about that. That's how it'll make sense for us to get out 10 times in one move or 5 times or something like that. It's just a little bit different. So, you know, the important thing would be to understand risk to reward,
down Google,
like where you think support might be. Like I'm holding past VWAP to get out at 69 here on Nvidia, but yeah, like you might not be rinsing and repeating off the top and then scalping some out in the first 30 cents the way I was. You might just get in and then hold it to VWAP. That's perfectly reasonable. It's just a little different when you're trading on a prop floor because the fee structure is a little more attractive.
All right, and that's a wrap, baby. I just want to talk quickly about Amazon right now because we're about to get out of Amazon. Amazon's a nice little mover to the upside here. Today we're in the money, $2.50. But if we break this little level right there, 107.50, we gone. So we'll do that. That's my idea right there to get out of that one if it does break down below 107.50. And this is the trade, man. It's just nice trade. If it breaks that, we are going to get out of that. So, yeah. Looking at that level right there, 107.50 as my out for Amazon. It just, whatever, man. It's good trade. We don't have 108. That's fine. But we also had too many outs right there. We explained why on the trade of the day about that. And I just, you know, we'll fix that problem later. But we are at the highest spot we've been at all day right now, going 5 for 5 and putting on another one right here. We just got 16s. We said our target. Remember I told you? And this is the thing, just about myself getting a little more confident in the levels that I'm giving, a little more confident. And look, I've been doing this for, how old am I? 22 years right now. But again, we adjust our styles all over the place. And it's like, my style's definitely changed now that I'm live on the show. You know, it's a little bit harder sometimes to take an upsized position. I'm getting better at doing that. And just, you know, managing risk. Sometimes I'll have 5 positions at once. You can clearly see that I've changed that style a little bit as well. We'll take another piece out right now on Google. But just to answer your fee question, yeah, what's up, Darwin? Yeah, basically since I was in diapers, yeah, I'm about 27 years old. So, okay, that's how these gray hairs looking. I keep telling my kids, I don't have any gray hairs. This is like dust. Like when I go to work, you know, it gets dusty. Comes into the beard.
Actually,
and then they say, but Daddy, you just had a shower. And those gray hairs are still there. And I say, damn, they're getting too old.
Damn that logic.
Yeah, they're getting too old now. Okay, for that one. And happy pizza day to my kids today. And my wife.
It is Friday, that's right.
Yeah, my wife went in there and ran the whole damn thing. So I'm really proud of all of that, but who cares? That's pizza day. All right, just real quickly on Google, coming to the downside, we're going to watch out for that fill. Amazon fills coming in. I did want to talk about something else. Oh, yeah, it was the fees. So just to give you an idea, I have a ridiculous amount of fills today for only trading 5 stocks. I have 177 fills today with fees are $4.67 on 177 and 77 fills. Because when I'm sitting here on the level 2 and using NASDAQ or ARCA or any of these gateways, so when it comes in and runs into me, so when I'm saying I'm bidding Google 105.30, what that means is I have a pending order just like you guys do, but we're not trading on a retail platform. This is a prop firm, this is a professional trading platform whereby we can pick and choose what gateways we stand on, and we don't have to sit there and pay an execution fee on some of the gateways. And in fact, it's called market making, whereby we sit there and bid and offer different gateways. We do not participate, I don't participate, Neil doesn't really participate in the dark too much, so that means that all of our order flow is visible, and in order to get a rebate, you need to have visible order flow. So come to my screen right here. If I want to get out at 27, I can pick a NASDAQ or any of these gateways. NASDAQ, EDGX, IEX, MEMX is here, BATS. There's a whole bunch of different gateways that will sit there and pay you to trade. Why do they do that? It's very, very simple. If you don't give them their order flow, then they don't have any orders to execute against. So ARCA will pay me or Neil, let's just say $2 for every 1,000 shares that we're trading with, and they will charge the person that is hitting us $3. Roughly, I'm using math here. It's not. If you work at ARCA, don't holler at me. But that's the idea. is that it costs money one way, and the other side gets the rebate. So it's a zero-sum game with, of course, the gateway always taking a piece.
They get their spread
on top.
I'm pretty sure
it's like a poker table.
No, but I'm pretty sure that is still what ARC is charging. So I don't think that.
Yeah. Whatever the price.
They're all different, and they're
and
constantly
they give promotions.
changing by a little bit.
If you're interested, go to daytradetheworld.com and you can join a trading floor like this. But sometimes, in order to get more volume, BATS might give a little bit more of a rebate one month as opposed to the other. For me, I'll spoil everything right now. I like to use NASDAQ and the ARCA gateway more than any other.
My routing key is the NASDAQ scan key. It's reliable. It tends to.
Crypto offers that too, so people ask.
Yeah, you definitely have that opportunity in multiple markets. It's a pretty old market feature. It's nothing new. It's constantly changing. A couple of things here. I wanted to get to the futures just for a second, if we could, to lay the land here a little bit. Because someone was like, "Wow, why all short when the market's strong?" It just has to do with what we've generally been seeing on the week. Like we get into a resistance zone and kind of do this. I don't want to draw. Why am I drawing lines on this chart when I don't want to? Anyways, it doesn't matter. You get into these resistance zones, and then you always have these pullbacks. We're just not breaking out of the range on any kind of a day. You'll get to the top sometime in the afternoon, and then you'll fade. You'll get to the top sometime in the afternoon, and then fade. The top is a little bit different, but we get into a zone, and then you just don't really punch through. So going for the long in the second half of the day hasn't really been a working strategy. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that the shorts are going to come in today. It's just the reason why after I think Wednesday I just really wasn't looking to go long any tops. I need some confirmation on anything that's going to prove to me that's going to the upside. Which of the four things I'm short, Bed Bath & Beyond doesn't count because I haven't done anything with that stock in terms of getting in since early in the morning, whereas the other ones I have. C3AI is punching through, trying to get back above into that 2020 level. I reloaded once, I got some out. I'll probably reload one more time in front of 2020, then I'll get out at the quarters. Just a monster level, so I want to be able to give it some room, because if it were to turn back around and flush, I think there's some serious downside on C3AI. And I'll think the same thing next week if it's at $20. Pretty strong if it can hold it, though, I'll tell you that much. If this breaks 20 and 1955 is the low, and then on Monday we're still above that 20, the long could just be on once again for this name. But for now, I still think it's trying to head to that downside, and there's plenty of potential for this one to flush.
So, all right, I don't know. Brendan's been super busy there today, so I'm going to go over the Lyft news as I see it right now. Apparently, they announced 1,200 additional job cuts to match the 700 that was before. Midday show covered it. We got some questions now about Lyft and if we could cover it right now, because Lyft is up 7%. But the thing that I noticed about this Lyft move was, here's the move up. So remember, whenever you're cutting jobs, you can see, oh, sorry about that, guys. Let me just show you where the volume is there. It's hard with that position board. Hold on. I just want to, man, why can't I pull this down? Where's the corner? Anyways, all right, let me pull this down a little bit more for you right here, and then just go this way. Hopefully this will show it enough. Yeah, okay, perfect. So right there. So, you know, the volume comes in. So you instantly say, okay, I'm running a volume scanner or something like that. What is the lift news, right? And so then you go to Twitter, you stay tuned to Trader TV Live, and we break the news for you every single time. And then so right there, well, I shouldn't say every time. Sometimes we miss stories for sure. But right there, volume comes in. You look to see what it is. And then it was layoffs, right? And when you have layoffs, obviously, you know, companies getting a little skinnier, trying to cut through some of the, you know, unnecessary expenses. I don't really know that for Lyft because, again, if you're cutting drivers, doesn't that sort of mean that your demand is down a little bit?
It's got to be back on.
Anyway, so there it comes right back into that area again. And then this is the puzzling move to me. Why did it go all the way back up and is now up 7%? So I feel like maybe just getting better, you know, more efficient. We've seen what that meant to Meta as well. And Meta is off to the races, 52-week highs, well, possibly not incoming, but 224 for Meta. And if you're going to, oh shoot, this is not going to do well either. Let me just bring this up. I'm wondering if this is also what's sort of sparking lift right here. If we can come over here and look at the daily chart. I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna have to switch to the other version. But just looking at this, this is a trade for Monday. Okay, I mean, it could be a trade for right now. It's breaking out. This looks a hell of a lot like a lot of the stocks that I love right now and the new strategy that I have. I was actually talking with Chow that works in our algorithm department, and algorithmic, I guess, not ours, but works for Day Trade the World. You can see right here, 1057, like once you're breaking out past some of these levels and making new daily ranges and you can start to break out on them, especially on news, this is gonna be a great trade. 1050 right now. So it's 245. It's a little bit late in the day, but I really like Lyft here breaking out. And if we do get above 11 on Monday, this is a long. So we'll write this down. We'll make note of it on the sticky note on Monday.
One more note.
What was that?
It's 17 to 19% short.
Okay, so that's another thing. So good call on that one. 17 to 19% short. So if we can open up above this level on Monday, I don't even mind taking it now. I just wonder about, this seems to be a little bit too high today. But if they like it over the weekend and we come in on Monday and we're above 1050, I think we go long and use that as our out. So right now I do like that Lyft news. And congratulations anybody that had it today. Congratulations if you're a longer term shareholder on Lyft. Because it's been a real tough go, man. And right there, that might be the bump up that you're looking for. And just remember, every single major tech name, including Microsoft, Amazon, I don't know if Apple announced layoffs or not, but they've all laid off staff, and unfortunately...
I can think of two that haven't.
Okay, a lot...
Apple and Adobe have not.
Adobe, okay. And a lot of that, of course, has to do with such a hiring spree that they went on back 2 years ago. So there's a lot of people that aren't, you know, they haven't been there too long, but again, I feel bad for any Lyft drivers that unfortunately got the news today, but you would think that might have, you know, edged over to Uber because there's a lot of Lyft drivers, and I know that we were in an Uber last night as well, and they drive both. So here in Toronto anyways, if it's available, they'll do an Uber or a Lyft, and they'll pick up whatever fare and surge pricing and so on and so forth. So today, right now, I don't need to tell you that. I'm sure there's a lot of Uber drivers in the chat, and I want to say thank you because I think it's a great business, and I've only had good experiences in Uber, so... but okay, $30.50. So there's the move down on that news. And then there's the complete recovery back up. So both these stocks kind of moving in unison. For me, I like Uber better than Lyft just because I feel like they're more diversified, obviously, as Uber has the freight business that weren't they talking about, Neil, breaking that business off, Uber Freight, a little while ago?
There were some talks. I don't know if...
So that could be that could be a headwind.
You definitely could see that be a bit of a tailwind for them. Look, a couple of things here. One, I just got some out of Peloton, so that's a short that I'm able to ring the register on. However, you might see I'm in a long position. So AMD, earlier today, I didn't trade AMD once today, but I saw this double bottom on it, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, when the market's coming down, why not try to pick at least one bottom? It's a weird habit. It's just you look for a strong level. You think you can go for it. It went 40s. It went 45. Now I'm trying to bounce off the 50 level. I have 55s long. That one just came in, so I wanted to update you guys on this. I don't want to let this pass the low of the day. That feels a little bit reckless for AMD. I did just get some out of Peloton. As Peloton kind of double tapped that 950. I'm looking to repeat the same play I made off the 950 level before, so as it gets into the low 40s and into the 30s, I'm going to get some out. I want to hold past VWAP, but this has been strong more or less all day, and it's on some, I don't know, like kind of decent support. Like if you look at this, on the daily, like you're at support at 9 that you bounced off of, so I can see it having a little bit of carry through and maybe holding some of the high. But we're short off the top, looking to play it back into this 930 level. I don't think you're going to see 9. If I had noticed this stock in the morning, to be sure, like if I had known that, I'd never looked at Peloton, it was never on my radar. But anytime you see a wipeout kind of day like yesterday where so many names were hitting pretty big lows, you want to pop the daily chart up and have a look at some of those previous support levels, because what can happen is it broke that low of 910, got under it yesterday, and then when you opened up today, like you were already supporting back above that 910. Like you were, by the open, you were trading right back here in front of 9. It tried to break down at 930, immediately recovered. To me, that's one of those setups. Like I like that wick high, go short off the high, fail break at the top, but that's the opposite. That's the fail to break the bottom and then start ripping at the open, which is exactly what Peloton did. Anyways, it's just a setup that I think is a good one. I wasn't watching Peloton, and if you're not watching it, you'll never get those because it happens right at 9:30, and you got to pick and choose. So AMD, new position alert for me. If it bounces off the lows, fantastic. VWAP would be great. My first offer is actually here at 65 if I can get it. I'll pop one at like 75 to 80 and then see if we get into VWAP on AMD. I know I'm long this and short NVIDIA. NVIDIA broke VWAP. Not really bidding. I want to see it get down to 69, then make a decision on that one. So shorts have worked, but I got myself one long with AMD here.
All right, I love that AMD trade, and that was one that we had earlier, and we got out when it broke earlier on in the day, and I do like that level, so good luck on that one. And like, it's funny too because I'm long Amazon and short Google, so we both are kind of counter trading our own positions right now, which is kind of funny. But okay, we are very, very close to getting stopped out of Amazon. I just want to talk about that quickly because it looks like it's going to come through right now. So I just want to see, I do have a flatten all key that I've set out. So that's sort of the thing. If you are with Day Trade the World, we talked about some of our fees and whatnot. What's up, Sharif? So I want to see if this works. So if it does break through 107.50, my hands are completely off. This is the way I trade. I don't have to sit here and look at, order flow or anything. Like if I had more shares, then maybe I would, really look at this. But I'm going to get out at 107.50. We talked about only having 10% left from this 105 bottom. So it's a $2.50 winner. I think I gave some good advice during the trade of the day and how I could do that differently. And it's just, we'll look at that when it goes through it. All right. Well, I mean, this one's up. Awesome. I stole that from Sharif because when I heard him do that, I was like, that's awesome. I like that. Awesome. It's kind of like the remix right there, and get ready to go out clubbing today, as Neil for sure will be out there.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's me too. We'll be out in the club all night tonight, and we'll be hitting I'll be like, DJ, rewind, and we'll be doing that tonight. No, I will not. I think I'm going for a walk.
DJ Jigs.
With the. Oh, you're going to the Jays? Is that what you said?
No, DJ Jigs. That was the guy.
Oh, yeah. That was a Laurier DJ. I know that guy's. He was a brown guy, great guy.
Good dude.
I think he might be still doing. I don't know.
We were at a dinner one time, and he was DJing at that supper club in Toronto. Anyways, there was a DJ. We both went to school in the same. We went to different universities in the same town. They were down the street from each other. And
you know who I heard the other?
Laurier was a better party town, so it was one of the DJs.
Same town.
Local.
Same town. Yeah. Remember the? So this is hilarious. I was coming home from baseball clinic with my daughter the other day, and it was 9 o'clock at night, which is way too late for an 8-year-old to be doing anything on a weekday.
Oh, the glasses are on. Oh.
Yeah, the glasses are on. Yeah, I can see clearly now. So what we were doing there was, who was on air?
What's that guy's name?
DJ. If you could think of a DJ that was around when we were there. And as soon as I told my wife, she guessed it right away. So Neil, you got to guess this. I basically gave her the same hint. What was one of the more popular DJs when we were growing up? This guy must be 70 years old. Because I don't know.
For the love of, I'm picturing the face, and I'm struggling.
You might not. Yeah, it's a radio guy. Anyways, it was DJ Starting From Scratch.
I know.
And it was just like I was listening to it. I think it was Mix 99.9 or 103.5 or something like that. And he was mixing like Miley, because it's just on radio. It was like Miley Cyrus, Flowers. But my daughter was all about it. It was like all pop music. Yeah. It was Lizzo. It was like all that stuff. And I'm sitting there driving, and I'm like mixing it up, and we're pumping it up, and I was just like, this is hilarious. And then it was DJ starting from scratch, and I'm like, holy crap.
That guy's
I remember
legit.
this guy really, like, Mo Money, Mo Problems, Tupac, all this guy. I'm like, this dude is still in the game? So shout out to you, DJ, starting from scratch. Thanks
If
for
you
making
love
my
what you
daughter sing as well, and that was the best. So, I guess if I can have the same job for 25 years or whatever, maybe DJs can as well.
Yeah, but if you're a DJ and you love music, like, why would you stop if you don't have to?
Yeah,
man?
exactly.
Like, if you love your job, why? You're not working anyways because you love it. So who cares? I want to get to just quickly here this JY Junkyard Dog. It's halted to the upside. It's going to open up. I mean, it looks like a 10-minute halt, by the way, because it would have opened 2 minutes ago if it wasn't a 10-minute halt. So this spent most of the day quad-duking to the downside, but just bounced off 440, halt up, indicated open at 580, which would be right about here. So I don't know if there's a trade in it for myself, at least, but if you're watching this one, it is halted to the upside and making a bit of a run in there.
I just saw my favorite thing on CNBC.
I know what's going on right now too. Because
it's not going on now.
But it's next week. It's happening.
I thought they did it at Super Bowl and stuff.
No, man. They do it for the NFL.
NFL draft. Okay, I was going to say there's something about
weekend.
Super Bowl, right? Okay, something about the NFL. So the stock draft.
Yeah, we can do our own.
You want to steal that idea, Brendan?
We've already talked about stealing this idea, and we should just do it.
Yeah, where we each sit down. We can include Fahad. We can include Brendo, myself.
Anybody, Sharif.
Everybody. Well, of course. Well, everybody naturally. Even some guy.
Like a big old whiteboard or something. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Big old whiteboard, and then maybe we can get it going, and then Neil, myself, Brandon, like the 5 or 6 of us that you see every day, will do a stock draft.
Can you just see going up to the podium and with the #1 pick in the 2023 stock draft for Trader TV Live, Neil picks Context Logic #1. Always, you have to. That's the banger.
All right, you're guaranteed #1 pick.
No, I'm just joking.
No. Lock it in. I don't want to steal it. Your
not
pick is Context Logic for sure.
No, of course.
Going into the 20. No, okay.
It's absolutely.
And then we will. So what they do is they draft now, and I think.
It's also not the C3AI show, which is about to start.
I take C3AI
No,
with my #1 pick.
I just got stopped out
overall.
on C3AI. That's why you just said it. So I reloaded C3AI. Just kind of broke the top there. I'm out.
Neil takes Affirm.
I'm not taking Affirm. Fahad
takes Veru.
Fahad wants Veru. What is Veru doing right now?
We are going to do that. We're doing that. We are doing that now. It may take us more than a week to get it all figured out. Let us figure it out. I think we should do it. We will in one of our,
Did we know this was up 15% today? Did you know it was up 15%?
There's a reason why Fahad,
Because it was at $1.
Shut
That's
up.
why you bought it 3 days ago. No, you bought it because it was at $1.
Did you though? $1.07 he bought it.
He's the Veru guru.
Come on, man. This Fahad.
You bought it at 107.
This guy's killing it in life. He's killing it in the gym.
Are you really? You're for sure. You're not making this up. You're wrong. Okay, yeah, no, I believe you.
What's it at right
so,
now?
No, Fahad legit has traded Veru in the past. So we 100%
Fahad is up
believe
40%
him. So
right
he's
now
got
on Veru.
107, and it's at we're trading 138 right now. Look at this bad boy. And where do you see resistance on the stock?
I can't take this anymore. What does Fahad ever do that is wrong? Is what I want to know.
You got any other tips?
What
else
he's
is
not telling
right
you is
now?
he's just averaging in from his $7 long.
$7?
That's
Oh,
the
this
thing that
stock
we're
was-
missing.
this stock was
we're
higher
missing
than 7,
the
bro.
initial price.
This stock was at like $25 before.
Right.
I remember me some
So
Veru.
100 shares at 25, another 100 at $1.07. So Fahad average price $12.50.
But if you dollar cost average, and
I'm getting some out of Google right
and
here.
it goes like another, I don't
got
know,
the
like
glasses on.
$5, you might be okay.
So there's a reason I put the glasses on, because it allows me to see right now that I should be getting out of some. Jesus, missed it. Having too much fun on a Friday. There we go. Just punch out 13s. So okay, did you see what I just did right there? If you can come to my screen real quick, I'll talk about it. So I was sitting on the bid at 12, thinking I wasn't going to get it. At 11s, thinking I wasn't going to get it. If I had gotten that fill at 11, I would have received a rebate. I would have got, it would have cost me nothing, and I would have made, let's just say on 100 shares, 20 cents. Okay, but because I punch out at 13, because I'm feared that I missed the bid, I then have to pay 30 cents for 100 shares. So that's how that rebate thing works. I know there were some people wondering about that. It's passive liquidity versus passive versus what's the
Active.
other? Active. Hello.
Or adding
Hey,
versus
what's going
removing
on?
liquidity.
Yeah, so right there, anyways, we were at that moment passive, we didn't get filled, so then we aggressively lifted an offer and paid for that. So that's a little bit of fee structure right there. I mean, this came right back in. This is the only trade that we've had on all afternoon. As we enter, guess what time?
Almost.
It's almost power hour, and we're getting ready to get powered up right now. It's going to be a good one, man. I just took an Advil. I got a little bit of a headache, so I took one extra strength Advil from Costco. Oh, by the way.
Extra strength.
Yeah, man. I mean, what the hell? You know, if you don't want to have normal strength, come on, dog.
I honestly, I hate taking
200 milligrams, baby. That's what
I
we're
hate
all
taking
about.
stuff.
Costco, man, after that special dividend, what a monster move up for Costco. Just bouncing off 490 the last couple of days. I didn't buy this. I still have yet to ever own this stock. This was one that my father kept telling me when it was between 100 and 150, he was getting in and out, and then eventually it broke through 150. He got out at 150, was never able to get back in. We kind of like laugh at ourselves about Costco all the time because we've been continuing to be a member of this forever. I love Costco, and Costco continues to work. If you're going to be in a retail name, it wouldn't be Walmart for me. It wouldn't be Target. I've actually sold Walmart. I'm not in any. I'll have to check my account. I must be in some kind of retail, but I'm definitely not in Costco, Walmart, or Target. And if I had a choice out of all of them, it would be Costco. I really like sort of the moat that
And you have a membership though too. My excuse is I don't have a Costco membership. That's why I don't own the stock, because I don't have a membership.
Well, Costco pays me for the membership.
Yeah, it's just, no, I understand. I think it's a fantastic stock too. I want to get to something because I kind of breezed through being long AMD for a quick second, and I missed an important point here. It's not just like AMD isn't at a random level that it's bouncing off of. I just got some more out, so we'll hit one of these. I don't know, whatever. But AMD on the daily chart, have a look at where it's bouncing at. This is the 50 period, just above that 88 even. So it's not really all that random. You're actually finding support on the daily chart as well. And typically, I would prefer that. Like if you're dip buying against trend, I would rather be doing so on a level which has some actual significance. So it's not just I'm not just looking off one chart or having one reason for doing it because you're going against trend. There are many reasons why I like it. The other thing about Advil, it doesn't do anything for me on headaches. I have to take so much of it. And the reason for that, and this is not necessarily a good thing, it's remember I used to have all those hamstring injuries? So one of the ways to get back quickly, which is not something you should do, is like, and a doctor friend told me
more for inflammation.
Yeah, so I would take a lot of Advil in the first 3 days to try and be able to come back, like injure my hamstring on Saturday and be able to run the next week. And so you go hard on Advil for 3 days. And now that stuff does nothing for me when I take it. So when I get a headache, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'd have to take so much for it to help me. So there's no point as we go to
No, hold on a second. But we're going to go to Brad in a second. I just want to announce something right now because attention, anybody that wants to advertise right now with us here on tradertv.live. Okay, ready? Why spend millions of dollars buying brand name stuff when you can simply shop at Costco and grab Kirkland. Greg, stay out of this.
That is a great plug, Greg.
It's not shameless because I literally said I was doing this before I did this. Grab your Kirkland ibuprofen right now, fresh off the shelves, and you can, too, enjoy Advil like me and Neil do. Maybe you don't. Live on the show. And trust me, when you speak as much as I do, and we do, sometimes... And plus, we had last night, we were watching the Leafs game. I already told that story a little bit there. All this kind of stuff. But grab your Advil while you can at your local Costco. All right, without any further ado, I'm just trying to practice for when and if we ever get that opportunity. Please hit us up, marketing at tradertv.live. All right, back over to Brendan at the big desk.
This hour may or may not be brought to you by Costco. It's not. Let's have a look at the overall markets here. Pretty flat, guys, as we head into the final 60 minutes of the week. 0.01 for the S&P, 0.02 for the Dow, the same for the Russell, basically right across the entire board. We're back to flat for the NASDAQ once again as well. It was all about this morning. PMI, if you missed it, at 9:45. Comes out higher for the first time in a couple of months. leading things to go back to the downside initially. We are obviously trying to pop. PMI, if you're wondering, Purchasing Managers Index, so indication of demand, trying to get back to the upside once again. A couple of things we were discussing if you're with us in the pre-market. One of them, these Chinese ADRs went to sleep. We were discussing in the first half an hour here this afternoon, but we're right back to the middle of the range that this has put in. So an interesting level here, 88.80. Once again for Alibaba, they all look like that, down 2% again, 4 in a row. In fact, for BABA, this one as well, a lot of people talking about MGRX, giving it up late in the day, possibly just broke 2, and looks like it wants to test lower here, guys, for that little one that was up huge today.
So I'll go to this one. AMD, I just got filled at 75 and it went right back to the bottom. So it's retesting that low. I'm going to kind of rinse and repeat here if I can catch the bid. So I'm going to pop a bid down in there. But then everything else kind of rolled back over to the downside. Peloton still slowly grinding, but it was more about NVIDIA. If AMD came to the downside, NVIDIA did this weird Huadunk where it's tough to see, but, well, it's not that hard to see. This is this wick here, if you can catch it. That's it breaking 70. And rejecting a 70 break and then slamming back down underneath VWAP. So that's a big kind of reversal candle. I think we carry down to 69. I don't think I'm going to get this. Probably not going to get offers back up here in the high 71 area. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. Google obviously is at 105 as well, because here comes 105. Google's been pretty decent off of this level. I can zoom back out so that you can see in context. It's been putting in higher lows off the 105, so I'm looking for some rubber band action there. Sometimes we'll see what happens when you catch all these lows, but I want to hold on to shorts into the low of the day and only play kind of the levels that have been pretty strong. I'm kind of glad I didn't take that small cap because I was just talking about that in the chat, and I was close to thinking about that 250 long with a 10-cent stop, and then Brennan just showed you the Huadunk, so I just saved a 10-cent hit. I think it was like MRGX or whatever that was. But either way, we're getting the market reversal coming in here. I'm going scalp trades for the longs with tight stops and the hold on to your shorts for dear life, because it feels like it's just another day where we reject the highs and fade, despite the fact that I bet green for our little chat thing.
Same.
Yeah, I know. I always bet the opposite of what I'm doing in that thing.
I was just going to say, I'm short. I'm holding the short on Google right now. And by the way, on that one, people saying that maybe this Kirkland brand is only in Canada. I'm pretty sure Costco is also having Kirkland brand stuff in the United States. But look at what's happening to Google. I'm sorry about your AMD because it looks like it is trying to break a little bit lower. But I know you have NVIDIA or maybe...
NVIDIA and Peloton.
That was funny when Sharif goes like, look at the board, that's the position I'm in. Remember he said that to Max about MGRX or something
He got very...
Man, Sharif was
got heated about
there.
that.
Sharif was ruthless. I don't know what's up with that. But here we go, Google right now to the downside. Good trade. I mean, short. This is the thing. Remember we talked about having a bias one way or the other? So we started our very first position of the day was short Google.
Bitcoin's flushing.
Bitcoin flushing? Okay, we'll find out about that. Kathy Wood, new price target on Bitcoin, 1 cent. No, that's just a joke. That's not true. Right there, 105, 105. I own Bitcoin and crypto, so don't... I'm not trying to bash it by any stretch of the imagination. But right there, short, short, short. We got out. We punched long. We made a little bit of money. We're positive on every stock today. We made a little bit of money going long. Then it came back in. We got out. Then we started the short. We took advantage of that short, got out again. Then it was like, that's it. A little bit of revenge trading as we break the 200 period, hit this one to the downside off 105.60. Comes right back in again, man. We took that trade one more time. We took this trade with you guys. That was at 210. We came back from the trade of the day and put that on. So now into Power Hour, Google looking like it wants to flush through. We not only did we put this trade on, but I told you where my target was. I was targeting right in here between 0520s. Okay, that target's a little bit big. Right into there. Why that? Because we sort of, I was thinking that we'd be really lucky if we retraced all the way back down, but not knowing what volume would be like on a Friday. We do have not a lot of outs, but we have some outs into that area. Now that we break lower, we're just breaking right now 105. So I'm going to put one more bid right now, 98, bang, right there. So nice, let's pull her down, baby. This is what Google's all about, man. The glasses are telling me to hold on to this. So glasses? Yeah, no, they don't speak. But downside move here in the market. Let's go. This is exactly the trade that we wanted to hold on to. We done good here on this. Just an update on Amazon. Wow. Yeah. There's our out on Amazon. can't, honestly, there's a reason why I draw these lines, man. It finally breaks that 200 period. Again, the only thing that's the mistake here is to not have reversed into the short, but there it goes to the downside. That's a $2.50 winner on Amazon. Whoops, I still have the ellipse on from there. So down there, 105 all the way to the upside. And I'm just getting a note from the wife, we're gonna go see the Sakuras tonight at High Park. They're the most beautiful thing maybe in Toronto when they bloom. If you've never seen them, they are amazing. Look up cherry blossoms. They're called Sakura. They're donated by by the Japanese government. They're also in Trinity Bellwoods, more downtown.
Yeah, there's a few locations in GTA.
Go to High Park if you get an opportunity to do that. They're absolutely gorgeous and lovely. Thank you to all of our Japanese friends.
Yes, we get to walk to. There's a park where they're donated. Like a 5-10 minute walk.
There is something you branded too, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like right on Main Street.
Yep.
So we walk to there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Take pictures every single year. Yeah, you grab a picture of that for sure. So a couple of things. Ooh, why did I hit my Fibonacci's? I don't want that. That's so weird. I don't know. I never hit that. But anyways, I don't want to draw Fibonacci's. I got another out there on Peloton. I'll get some more out in front of VWAP. Google came in. It's managed to hold that 105 for now. It kind of wicked and did not break that lower high. But I'm going to get out as we head into VWAP. But you got them up there. These are absolutely gorgeous.
I don't want to click on them because I don't know what's going to open up once I do. But check out how beautiful this is. You can walk through the park, and there is hundreds of these trees, and they're just layered and I might even be in one of these pictures. What's going on here? But yeah, see you walking through. It's absolutely gorgeous. And if you've never been to High Park in Toronto, there it is right there, High Park cherry blossoms. They're absolutely to die. I shouldn't keep scrolling in case something bad comes up. But anyways, they're absolutely beautiful. And if you ever get an opportunity to do that, man, go ahead and take your family. It's fantastic. The kids are going to bring the scooters. We'll bring the dogs. But High Park there in Toronto, it's kind of a nightmare to park around there and everything at that time. But get it all figured out. Take public transportation if you have to. But anyways, definitely worthwhile going to see. However, my wife did mention, which is maybe why I'm getting a headache, that it's supposed to rain starting like at 9 p.m. tonight all weekend. Like literally all weekend.
I thought one day was gonna be
maybe it's not literally all weekend, but there is a good potential for that. So okay,
Sharif?
good out. Where's Sharif?
No, because Benton in the chat just said, "Tell Sharif Arsenal is already losing." That seems rather cold.
It's Hyde Park, not Jekyll and Hyde Park.
Jekyll and Hyde Park.
Although I've been to Hyde Park in London, another absolutely gorgeous place.
Jekyll
I play out of
Park.
Hyde Park baseball, so that's
that's
coach
legit.
a little league there. So
I got to pick up the. My daughter's finally playing baseball. Well, it's t-ball for the first year. So I got to pick up her helmet and the pants and the belt. And she was so excited for it. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Although, quite frankly, like the funny things we get there, and like on the shed, like the shed says like Brampton Minor, but it's like boys minor baseball. And she's like, why does it say boys?
Valid.
I'm a girl. But I'm like, yeah, because it used to be that only boys played it. It doesn't really matter. You'll kick their butts anyways. And I thought about that because she's never going to want to stop. She sees softball and she's like, no, that's not what Vladdy does. Because we watch the Jays.
You can't play girls
I know,
hardball, though.
and it's like it's stupid to me because I'm going to get pissed off when she wants to continue to play and there's nothing for her to do.
That's why I coach the all-girls t-ball team in Hyde Park. The Diamonds, shout out to the Diamonds.
It's like there should just be an option for them. Why there has to be two sports is, anyways, that's a rant for another day, quite frankly. But
girls don't play hard. I mean, the professional leagues are softball leagues.
No, I know that's the thing.
Fastball.
And that's where the scholarships are. I understand all of that. It's just
maybe she'll be into track.
Well. All she ever wants to do is run. She loves track. She loves watching track.
I'm pretty sure my daughter.
She gets offended when I say at the Olympics that person's the fastest in the world. I'm like, that's Usain Bolt. He's the fastest. Or when Jacobs won for Italy. She's like, Daddy, no, I'm the fastest. I'm like, okay, sweetheart. All right. You will be one day.
Yes,
you will be one day.
Yes,
wait till she beats Fahad in a race. You guys are gonna love her when that happens. She's 6, by the way.
What happens if you and Fahad race and he beats you and your daughter's there?
Then, no, but see, that's the thing. One of the most important times when you find out that your parents aren't infallible, she needs to learn that lesson. I ain't perfect, man. It's not going to happen, but if it happens, that's perfectly fine. Like have
you felt the man's lats?
No, in this case, wouldn't it be his quads?
No, I'm just saying. He always says about the lats. So.
What do you like? No,
we are doing that race, are we not?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, that is.
It's starting to get warm out, so we'll figure out
Yes, man, 21 degrees right now. I was just outside, went for a little bit of a walk.
It's nice today, but we want to make sure it's like nice weather. Like in Canada, it can be like last week it was 30, and then next thing you know, it was like overnight 1 degree outside. Like it's just ridiculous. So we want to make sure it's gonna be nice. LTHM is making a bit of a bounce. I know a lot of people are talking about this one. And it's been in play, like obviously lithium's been in charge. We're talking about Chile. But I'm not really sure I saw anything outside of like a technical bounce here off 19.5, and it's starting to break back out. So if there was a headline I missed, fair enough. It just feels like it made a sort of like a natural bottom and is breaking out of this channel at 20 even. But good shout out, good point out for this one. I really don't see anything. If there's actually something to this, you guys can let me know. Race to Costco, John Spruill said. I don't know where the closest Costco is, but I did say to Fahad that we're going to sprint, but I did tell him it actually doesn't matter the distance we do. I'm perfectly willing for it to be, it could be 50 meters, it could be 100 meters, it could be 200.
Oh, no, it has to be more than 50 because Fahad's whole
It's true.
point is, Neil, I
could
see
be
what you're
800.
trying to do here, Neil.
I'll waste 1K.
I see what's happening
We
here.
could run a 3K if you want.
3K? No, I don't think either. Well, 3K. Are you a distance runner? No, I don't think. I think Fahad wants the maximum. I think we discussed was 200.
No, but I told him he can pick the distance. I really don't care.
Okay.
Like, it's just
That's
whatever,
fair. Hey, that's
whatever
very
he wants,
fair for
whatever
you.
he wants to do.
I've made the line right now. You're minus 450, and Fahad is plus 570. So for right now, that's the current line. I'm going to adjust it as Juice comes in. Maybe we can get Streamlabs to figure that out. Look, we're just both in our trades right now. It's a good Friday. Welcome
there's not much
once again
happening.
to the show, man. Put any questions. If there's any names you want us to look at, I'm happy shorting this Google. I do want to look at Microsoft when we get back from Brendan at the big desk.
Yeah, just quickly, guys, on lithium names across the board today. Chile comes out, announces plans to nationalize in that country. That was about 9:30 this morning. Nationalize lithium production, obviously. So all of these down on that, it would appear.
I mean, that's we talked about this in the midday show, like the level of risk that you have investing in certain places and in certain industries, in certain places, and how one headline can go kaput. And that's
Like China?
no, it was in the
No, I know,
context
but
of China that we're
that's
talking
it,
about
yeah.
this. And there's nothing. It is what it is. You can see it in South American places as well. That's why you'll have the flight to safety of the U.S. because it's the free market is a sort of fundamental there. And I'm trying to stay away from. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because I don't want to comment on necessarily that decision. I understand you're going to protect your national resources and why you want to do it, and I don't necessarily have anything against it. It's just when you're investing, it makes it a little bit dicey, and you want to understand those risks. So the last time we got here on NVIDIA, it kind of wicked this top at 270 and then huadunked back to the downside. Were it to do it again, I'd see that as a bit of a re-entry point to the short. I don't want to jump into it just yet. I'm kind of not intentionally hedged with one long on Google, but the other one, AMD, I got 2/3 out as it got halfway to VWAP, and then it ran the stop when I reloaded. It's kind of retesting that entry point, but it's still on the downside here. So I still see some weakness in NVIDIA. I don't want the reload just there. And oh my goodness, I need Tesla 166 plus, Brody. Well, I can't say that I'd be unhappy if the market got back toward those highs. Tesla is bouncing off 165. So that's a pretty good sign here. It has been pretty sleepy unless you had some early moves on Tesla. That's why I'm not trading it. I don't know that I see a tremendous opportunity with the lack of action over there in Tesla. But I'll cheer for it to get to 166. When we get back to the highs, that'll probably suck for my shorts, but it ain't all about me.
203. So I just have to adjust a bad print here, but 286 O's. Let's see if this can work for Microsoft. Yeah, okay, that's better. All right. There's another wick there. Oh, darn it. Okay. Let me just zoom in as much as I can without trying to get that wick going. 285. I like this 285 bottom. If this market does continue to bleed, fine. The market just turned red, and so we are short Google, but we're almost out of all of that. We still have about 30% left on that, or about 20%, sorry, left on that Google trade because we just got an O's fill right there as it came back down. But what about Microsoft right here? It's down on the day for sure, but it just bounced pretty clean off 285. And if all we're doing, what's up to Will Evans? I see you coming back in the chat. And I think you did the right thing there by talking about maybe scalping into the close. So that's kind of what I want to do right now. If we can get this 285 long, I think it's worth it. So I'm sitting here at 285.15, looking to see about a drop down through 90 to get out if we break that 90. That very bottom wick right there is actually 83. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to call it up again. I'm going to drop it a little bit lower than 285.15, maybe 285. 285.05. Let's do that. Let's put it. Whoa! Almost dropped my mic right there. Caught it though. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I'm going to put one near here, 285.05, something like that. If Microsoft does drop down, let's take that bid, and then we'll hold it against this very bottom. I was going to go 90, but you know that little wick. And the problem is I can't zoom it too much out because see these bottoms? That's 80s. So if I'm going to use 80 as my out, I think this is worth 25 cents at least. So if we get that 25, that bottom there at 85 flat, I think we can retrace back up another 50 cents, right? That gives us 2 to 1. So that's a good trade right there as far as I can see. So I am going to take that long at 285 and at the same time try to respect what's going on right now on Google. This is making a move down to 105 again. So there's that fill that we just talked about right now at 104.95. So far so good on this short, guys.
And that's the thing. Someone just said that you guys are on opposite ends of it. Yeah, because the range has been 50 cents. I was short other names, but now it's down here. So that's the support, that's the resistance. That's what you do as a day trader. I can understand, you know, you definitely a lot of times you want to have a bit of a bias, but it certainly makes sense to evaluate the stock where it is in the setup as it currently is. If you're already in the money holding something, you're deciding where am I going to trail out, where am I taking profit? If it's at a support level, do I want to get in? Does it make sense to me? What entry price do I want? Where am I take profits? Where's my stop? Like that's how I'm going to process necessarily. What else do we think is going? Tesla long. Well, I kind of went over that it's not moving. Don't really see anything on that one, but like my eyes are on this NVIDIA 270. Oh, Momo's been, and a lot of people have asked today about Moderna. I have not looked too much at Moderna today, and I don't, this is a stock usually I'll trade Moderna for an opening move, and that's more or less it. And I'm gonna get to the super chat in a second, but this is at VWAP on my 3-minute chart here. Oftentimes we'll say that and not let you guys know. And that 141, the last couple of days, you have the Quaduke that Moderna had last week. And, well, I guess it was beginning of the week, really. And then to me, it never really made the bottom because you had the gap down. What I look for is for it to hold the same low, which it kind of did, but then it broke that low today. So you had previously 141, and then it broke the low. So since the gap down, that's been the long. But once it does this, I don't know how much I like the 141 again. It feels like this could be a good one. I'd be more confident about it tomorrow, on Monday, if it's still holding to go long off that level. But I do like that general setup on a kind of like a big time gap to the downside and then wait for it to settle down at a specific price and go long off that. It worked pretty well for Roblox for a while. So I'd like to see if that would happen here on Moderna. I wouldn't take it into this abyss right now because this was, I mean, just flushing underneath this level this morning. I mean, I wouldn't hate to see the same thing happen again. So Moderna, not something I'm going to trade in the afternoon, but I do appreciate the shout out and point out that good level. It is a solid one as far as I'm concerned. So there's nothing wrong with it. I like the setup, just not a trade for the last 40 minutes of the day. Probably not, at least not for me anyways. I want to go over to just one other name here in a quick second. And this is, and no worries, Momo, we can talk about any stock. You know, there's setups, there's opportunities, there's things we can learn from. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to put on a trade, but there can always be something you can see on it and then give a bit of an opinion. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't really matter. So I just missed getting my first offer on Google. This is a better chart to show you the range that it's been sitting in. So if we do get past that 10s, that's when I'm going to start getting out of it, and then we'll see how far it goes. Still not getting anything out on Peloton, but I'm going to start getting a little more aggressive covering Peloton because it is a very strong stock today, and it made a big, you know, kind of stair step to the upside, higher high and higher lows now. So when you see that, you know it's a strong stock. Just because I happen to have gotten the top doesn't negate the fact that this has been a long all day long. So I'm going to get a little more out here. Doesn't seem like it wants to flush that far, and the market's on some support. The NASDAQ is just bouncing off of, you know, red to green, going back into it. I bet green, but it doesn't really matter. And you can see it bouncing off this support here time and time again. This is my 15-minute chart up. And as long as that's happening, a strong stock has a decent chance to get back toward those highs if it's already up 4% and has shown no signs of slowing down too much.
Okay, so yeah, look, I think heading into the close here on a Friday, we're going to get that market on close and balance, and when we do get that to you, we'll give you the early preview on that. I know Dan and a few of you on the chat also like to get that. It's from Financial Juice, who we've had on the show many times. So a bunch of good guys over there. Shout out to Tony Knack. He's really the only guy. He's the only guy I know.
He's the only one that came on.
The only guy that I know there. Yeah. So shout out to Brendan and Tony Knack and all those guys for coming through. We can have him on again. I think he's a very, very smart individual there at Financial Juice. But yeah, just like Neil just mentioned about Google, I know we're the opposite way, but I just took another piece out here at 02. So let's just see where it goes now. We are getting lighter and lighter on this trade in hopes that we do not break that level, because hey guys, if we do, I'm not letting this go all the way back up. No, all the levels have changed now. We're still going to use this 200 period, not the 50 period. So I'm resetting my out right now. I've canceled all my stop orders. I'm going to put one more in right here, $105.25. New target stop here for Google again. So I'm just going to actually put that in right now, $100.25. I'm going to push enter as the stop.
Did it work?
No, but I screwed it up. I put in.
No, I did that too.
I put in $100.25.
I know, I've done that too.
All right, well, we're flat on Google. Good trade for me right there. Yeah, we get out there at 105. We punch out automatically right there. Ay, that sucks. All right, well, whatever. We're out of Google. That's a keystroke error for me on that one. So what you could do is when you make those errors, honestly, man, I'm just going to get back in for the same amount of shares. So right there, now I'm short at 04.50, 05 right there. I'm going to put the real stop in. So look, this is going to look like I'm taking a 30-cent hit here, but I'm going to, smarten up and put in the real order right now again. So
and the reason for this, while you're doing but the reason why you do this, I know it's shorting a different price, but effectively speaking, you just hold shares, right? So it doesn't really matter. Like if you were short here and then you get out there, but then I didn't mean to get out. I'm just getting back in here for the same amount of shares. It's completely irrelevant. You pay the fees to punch in and punch out, but like we said, for us, that's pretty much negligible. So generally speaking, if I make a mistake of getting into shares I don't want to get out of them right away, if I get out of shares I didn't want to get out of, I just get right back into them right away. And I understand not everybody can do that. That's an advantage here at Day Trade the World, being on a prop floor. So, I mean, if you're a retail, you're probably not doing that. I get it. It's certainly going to be true, but that's something that we are going to do pretty much 9 times out of 10. Maybe you don't like it and you don't jump back into it.
I actually made 2 pennies there because I got out at 03 and I retook
you got a better price?
05.
Sometimes it works out like that. It's kind of funny. Sometimes it will work out like that. Most of the times I feel like you just pay the spread. Like if it's a 1-cent spread, you kind of pay it both directions, or maybe a little bit more than that. See, this is insane. Like this is now 105 to 105.10. So I moved my offer to basically, I don't know, I'm literally on 12. I don't know why. I'm on 12 and I'm on 22 because I like those numbers, and it doesn't even want to get there. Like, this is what you call barcoding, and you can't even get inside of the range, which is a little bit frustrating. I should just offer like 10 exactly because that's the price that it's actually filling. Like, what's the difference? It's not filling anything else. Like, it's kind of crazy that that's what's happening here. So we'll see. I mean, this market does not want to decide. I feel like we're waiting till we get closer to the close. It's trying to bounce, but it's not a gigantic bounce. At this time of day, I'd be expecting a little bit better than this for the market. So we'll see what will happen. I did just get some more NVIDIA. You'll see my price probably just flip there because it did that over-under here of 270, wick the top, did it over here as well. So I kind of shorted that pop, and then I'll scalp. If it's only a scalping range, I'll start scalping it into VWAP. Like that's what the market wants to do, then that's how we have to trade it.
Yeah, man. Okay, so here we go. I just want to talk about this. So I own 3 of these 5 names. Okay, making new 52-week highs today. There's going to be other stocks, but these are the big cap names. And I'm just reading it from a Twitter account that I follow, so I'm not.
Procter.
All right, no, it's not Procter. It's not making 52-week high. Procter's close. Remember we showed
I thought
it to you?
broke. No, it didn't. No, never
didn't
mind.
break yet.
Yeah, it didn't.
It's Visa. It's McDonald's. It's Eli Lilly. It is DraftKings, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and it is Boston Scientific. I mean, look at DraftKings right now. We talked about buying this name if it broke through $20. I mean, look at this thing just going to the upside. Yeah, that's right. I can't extend it too much there because there's too much downside compared to the upside. Like, look at this move to the downside right there. So maybe some people are finally starting to get back in the money on DraftKings, man. If you held this all the way down, I feel like buying it in here, 22, 23, something like that probably would have been done by many. And then if you're lucky enough, and you guys can, whatever, call me a liar on this one or whatever, but I've been talking about DraftKings down here at $11. I missed it, so I'm not pumping my own tires or anything like that. But I really thought that this was a clear clear move that, you know, you may look back and regret not buying, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now, because DraftKings, off that $11 bottom that was made in early January, really extending itself out right now, taking out some key levels, taking out 20, but there goes DraftKings, man, and those of you that have been watching the show for a little bit know that I've been talking about this name, and it's straight fire, straight up to the upside. Let me just do a little bit of work here and just find out DKNG. This is actually, look, you can get any of this information from a lot of different websites, but I really like the single stock, I think it's called single stock window here on Trade Ideas. It just gives you all the information that you need all in once. What the short float is, what the relative volume is, what today's range is, market cap. Like, it's all right here, revenue. You can put a lot more things. It's completely customizable, by the way. So look at this, May 4th, post-market. So there's still next week coming or 2 weeks coming for DraftKings.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, may the 4th be with DraftKings holders, shareholders, because it is off right now. And hey, man, if you work for DraftKings, why not sponsor our stock market draft that will be happening very, very soon here live on the show for that one. But okay, I know you're long. I'm short right now on our friend Google. It just bounced off 105 again. So just be careful. I'm down here at 90. That's where my first take is going to be, because my out is right here at 25. So if I'm going to risk 20 cents, I'd like to make that 20 cents. So we're going to go right down here at the bottom of the day. Or is it the bottom of the day?
No, it's the higher low. It's the higher low.
Yeah, that bottom. I don't know if that gets made. Well, it could. I'm only waiting right here at 90. So hopefully we can get a 90 fill, and then we'll go down here on the downside, but I don't know if that comes through or not. We have 20 seconds, Neil, until we get that number.
Yeah, and just a couple of things. I'm just, I can't watch Bed Bath & Beyond. I have so little left anyways, but it just keeps bouncing off the same level, and I refuse to take it out because I keep waiting for the actual low, which doesn't really matter at this point. So I'm just going to get out of it in front of this 29. It's not really doing anything, and it's not going to, I don't think it's going to fall any further, quite frankly. So let's just forget about that one. I'll get on the bid. Don't want this to get out of hand. I just got that reload on NVIDIA, and I have to zoom back in because of that wick there. So got the reload on NVIDIA, got some out in front of VWAP at 70s, and then we'll see if we can't get maybe a little tighter to VWAP in there. We are going to get the first look in any second now from Financial Juice.
I got it. I'd rather not even tell you.
Oh, it's a monster.
I'd rather not mention
it. It is a monster. It is.
We are in trouble.
37 million shares to the sell side. 37
Oh my
million.
God.
That's a nothing burger, obviously. If you're watching for the first time, that might sound impressive, but unless it's close to 1 billion shares, the imbalance is pretty meaningless toward the end of the day. So that is definitely a nothing burger. That's not going to cause us to flush down at the end of the day. Although it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but yeah, that's not going to be the catalyst for sure.
All right.
Stung if you were banking on that to make the shorts come in, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
It really doesn't have to be.
No. Remember we asked about Free Fall Friday? We got the complete opposite. We got like,
Bounce off the lows Friday?
I was going to say, chill the, you know what, out on Friday. Like there's absolutely, you had, I mean, the market opens up here, then you had a nice move down, retraced all the way back up, which we've done numerous times before. Ooh, I might take Apple long breaking through 165 right now. Then the NASDAQ goes all the way to the downside, upside, upside, upside. I mean, look, there was, you still had lower highs here. Boom, 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 going to the, higher lows. I keep saying that on the upside there as we go. So I feel like that was something there. So there was a possible move, but maybe we're going to break above the 50 period right now. So why I just said right there is Apple getting a little bit interesting. It just took the 200 period. There's not too many stocks, I guess, right now that are looking like that. But there's a nice little base for Apple. Probably should have traded that off that bottom right there, 164.70. I don't know why we've just been looking at Google there. That was a good little level there for Apple. So I feel that we missed that opportunity. Oh wow.
What about Meta?
Guys, this opportunity goes all the way back to the morning there on Apple. So let's just oh yeah, wow. We only had one time today that we dipped below. I got to get off this level there. We had only had one time that we dipped below 164.50. Oh yeah, that's something right there. Oh, we should have been long. We should have been long already on that. So okay, whatever. Just in case you're wondering, this is of course not a new position for me on Google. This is the same position. We keystroked out, but we are getting close to getting out of this right now. If it does break 105.20, I almost just got back into it just because, but at the same time, the market is just doing nothing right now. So I wanted to stay short just in case it did rip. But that AMD, man, is down to 88. This could be also a potential long down there as well if you did like that. But you're still down 2% on AMD.
So, I just finally the time it actually fills up at 12 on Google, like it just blows through the level. So it kind of blew through. We're going to get back out to VWAP. I might hold some, you know, if it's going to curl here, then whatever, I'll just get out there. And then if it breaks VWAP, I want to hold for above. We'll see what happens. But it's been such a tight range. Like this is not, you're not thinking, I'm not even really thinking it's going to get to or break that high. Not at 333 on a nothing burger of an imbalance. I feel like it's almost pretty unlikely. Remember I mentioned Peloton did not feel like it was weak enough to roll back into VWAP. Well, if it's going to come back in here, I'm at 35. I'll probably just take another leg out right there in front of the last dip. Like the big volume dip got to 37. I'll just take that. 950 has been a brick wall. But remember, this is trending up, holding higher lows the whole way through. I can do this for you if you're really like, I don't know, like a lot of times. So one of the things I like to do sometimes is not draw the trend line off the morning, is just slap what happens like after 10 o'clock when it makes like the first like pullback and finds its first level of support, and then draw a trend line off of that. A lot of times it can be, I've just found if I want to switch my bias, I don't want to be anchored to all the nonsense that happened early. Well, what happened when it settled down and the volume got a little bit lower? So if I'm looking for a reversal or where to take profits on a short at the top, and it's resisting this line, I'll only hold one piece or a small piece beneath there. It's generally as good as VWAP, but it just kind of reinforces the point. It's not always about the same thing. NVIDIA got some out, have not reloaded on it just yet. This might be the last opportunity to do so off that lower high on NVIDIA. I always have to zoom in, but if it breaks out like 270.40s here, I'm not holding this back in to 271.30. Like that was the real high. 271.40 was the top. I'm not going to hold this $1 with only 25 minutes to go. Doesn't make sense. I'm not going to get, holding it $1 only makes sense if you think it's going to flush back too. And I don't think that's happening at all in this amount of time. So it has to go back in through VWAP now or it's no good.
Yeah, wow. I was just looking at the amount of names I've traded today. 5 names today, very, very specific on what we've been doing here again today. But one of those names probably should have been Tesla, and it's not. I don't have any marks on Tesla today. And again, you know, in the afternoon, not much has been happening. I just want to talk about it because it was on the sticky note as a great opportunity down there at 160.50. So we'll see if Tesla can come back into that level. But if those of you that were looking at Tesla and thinking on day 2 plays, and Neil and I actually talked about day 2 plays. And I mean, I still think there's a lot of volume to be worked on there on day 2. So, you know, lots of volume on Tesla again today. Obviously not as much as yesterday. As you can see, the volume yesterday quite large, and then today kind of leveled off. But still, nice move off the open down into this level. And when you're seeing this kind of consolidation early on names, like that's a great break long. Like especially at 10 o'clock, like that's 162.70 or so, gives you up to 164. And I mean, I think if you take that break, you probably do have the ability to hold that into sort of where we open. So I think that was a missed opportunity right there for about a clean $1.50. Pretty easy to take there for sure. So I feel like that would have been one, and then you pulled back there. Then now that we see Tesla the rest of the day, this is what it's been doing in the afternoon. I think this is kind of fool's gold. Like I don't think you take a 165 long. There's really no reason to do that. The only thing is if you did take that, then you have to hold it down here, which is like 30 or 40 cents. And then really, you're just getting 40 cents now on this. So I don't really think that was worth it, that move right there. So yeah, for me, it's going to be a nothing trade here for Tesla. Maybe if the market really rips and you want to short 166, then you could be up to something. But for now, yeah, I'm going to pass on Tesla right there. And good job, Mahad, there on the switching. I like that. And then right here, 105. I just put another short on against that level. We still have our target to get out. If it breaks, then we're going to get out. But if we're going to be range bound into the close as well, we'll average this short. We're positive on every name. And actually, Google overtook it, man. Google is my #1 name today after all is said and done, man. Short early, long, short until we're wrong early, went long, made money, then shorted again, and a couple of little profit takes there on Google. Now we watch to see if it breaks this 105.25.
Speaking of breaking down, we're actually still falling on Bitcoin right now.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, the market has, I mean, the NASDAQ's making a higher low, and you're just still taking out the bottom after the quadrunk that happened earlier this afternoon, not too much earlier this afternoon. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way. We're still right back at lows. Ether is a little bit better, but I mean, quite frankly, not that much. It's not quite at the bottom. 1836 is the low. It's more or less there right now. Yeah, not a good look. And I know Mara's taking it on the chin, obviously. Ooh, I'm still on my futures chart there. Sorry, guys. Mara's taking it on the chin. That broke to the downside. I saw Coinbase was getting flushed out. So this is where this is where the real weakness is in the market. So congratulations. I'm not going to hit that key because that's usually a good thing. It's a bit of gates of hell if you look at the round trip that's happened on some of these names, kind of to end this week. I don't know why that's not pulling back further. Let me go to the daily chart here. Yeah, round trip. Like this was we were just breaking this out on Mara. Like days ago. This is insane. Like it was just like a week and a half ago or something that you were making this breakout. I would suspect if we come back on Monday, it looks like there could be some support down here at $8. It could be worth trading. But wow, it's a big reversal. Coinbase is through 60. I just think it's headed to 50 when I see that, but I'm not going to try and bottom pick that. But if there's a turn next week in Bitcoin, probably worth a look at Mara, at least technically. Not one I would normally trade, but hey, it's there right now. NVIDIA did not stop me out. It came close. I'm probably just going to re-enter this. I wasn't going to add back in because it's 340, but it wicked that high again. It's there, so I'll probably just end up taking it one last time.
All right. Again, guys, thank you so much. I hope everyone's going to have a good weekend here. There's only 20 minutes left, and there's only 10 minutes left until the imbalances come out. And I have a bid on Google near $105. So if that fills, that fills. These are all from 9:30, of course. These will all get updated, and you're going to see some late market movement coming through once these are updated into the close. And then we see from there. Now we're flat on Google. Our average price is 11. It's at 11 right now. So that was a good average in right there as it's coming in. All right, you know what? I'm going to take, we're short at 11, whatever. I'm going to wait right here. It's not a huge position. I'm going to wait from where I took the first fill. So the averaged in price gives us in the middle. So if we can come all the way back to flat there, well, we're in the money now. So that's good. But we'll wait to see if we can get an 05, and then maybe we dip down a little bit more as the NASDAQ looking to press. We haven't talked about oil too much. Did I just get that? Oh, yeah, right there.
Oh, my God.
Nothing to really celebrate, but there's Google. Just see that? You don't get filled unless you got a price there, and we just put that bid in, and we take that right there on that fill for Google down to 105.05. We're only short at 12. We talked about that, so that's 7 cents. Remember where our out was right here, so we come pretty close. 25s was where we're going to get out, so maybe we do get a little bit of a flush in for Google. That remains positive for us today. All 5 names that we traded are all good ones once again today. We just be very, very specific on what we're doing right now. But if there any other, what's up, Fonzie, you want to shout out, you get it right there. Stomp the like Draymond. Shout out to my guy out there. Shout out to
They had a big win last night, actually.
Yeah, they finally, remember I was telling you this, I thought Sacramento was going to win that series, but I don't know, 2-1 right now going through. Sacramento
love Sacramento,
plus 250 on that. So
Fox is one of the most underrated players. The fact that he wasn't a pick originally for the All-Star team was a joke. Like, they were in 3rd place, and a player that good doesn't make the All-Star team. Like, that, I don't know, that really grinds my gears. But I'm not going to reload Alphabet too late in the day. Don't want to draw a line there. Get off that line. There you go. I'm not going to reload this. It couldn't break VWAP, so either it holds 05 now because I don't want to stop it to the lower high. Yeah, that's right. I guess it's a higher low because that was a higher low from earlier. Don't know why that's missing. But I'm going to give it just to that 105 even. I didn't have an even stop before, but given the time of day, there's just so little time for a bigger move to happen at this point that there's no need to extend things. It'll be a really, really tight stop and no reloads whatsoever. I reloaded one last time on NVIDIA. This will be the last time I go for it. And if it breaks up, fair enough. That should mean hopefully Google's okay. But I reload one more time. If it gets down into VWAP, fair enough. But we have 7 minutes till the imbalances actually come out, and we're expecting them to be a nothing burger. But you never know. I've certainly seen where you feel like nothing is going to happen at the close, and then all of a sudden you have like a big 20, 30-point move on the ES or something toward the end of the day. So last time rinsing and repeating on NVIDIA. I will not do so on Google. I got on the bid of Bed Bath & Beyond, and it never filled, so I'll probably have to punch out of that. And Peloton. I'm just really holding Peloton to see if it'll do any kind of a flush. It's in the money. I don't have a trailing stop on this. I'll just get out manually if it breaks like 945 or something.
All right, so a big shout out here to Trader Luke. What's up to Mike Bellafiore? One good trade. I read your book. It's a good book right there. And so he goes, what is one thing you need to stop doing as a trader? And then shout out to you, Trader Luke, if you're in the chat right now. He says, one thing I need to start doing is drinking beers without Trader TV Sean so I can get him drunk. Not going to happen. So that he can spill his guts and give me all the secrets. And then I responded. I don't know. Where's my response there? I don't know what it was. I just said, well, then get to Toronto. And cheers, let's go. We are here in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we'll get going right now. So thank you, Trader Luke. I thought I did respond to that. I'm gonna double check after the show. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds or whatever for the response to get going. So thank you to Trader Luke and everybody else out there that supports the show. I wanna give a big shout out to everybody. If we don't, Neil's going to, I mean, I don't wanna put you on the spot, but you did mention it. If we do get to 1,500 likes, there may be some hot fire spit here on the show. So right now, we're always at 750. Every single time I check at this time of day, we're at 750.
You know what?
Likes.
I checked a little while ago, and you know the number I saw? I'm not even making this up. I saw 666. I saw 666.
Isn't that strange when that happens?
It's so weird. It's like I see that number so randomly every now and then. You know what it is? Like when you just notice the number that stands out. Like, it's not as if I'm actually seeing it more often. It's just, it's weird. Like, I see it on the like counter every single time because I'm going to notice it. You can't get through VWAP. Like, seriously, this is like you're just seeing a 30, 40 cent range here on NVIDIA, which is a $270 stock. But I can't tell you that it's doing anything else. That's all it is. I just got some on in front of 70s. I got a bit in front of VWAP. If we get it, we get it. But there's not much else happening going into the close. It's just giving you a decent refill zone. To be able to take that short. Peloton's still kind of working okay. Oh, I was gonna mention Meta. Oh, Ponzi Fonzie. Oh, that got blocked because of the language in there. That Omen movie. I love the Omen movies with Damien. Those are like, when I was a kid, that was some scary stuff. But you watch it when you're older, and it's really not that great. But when I was a kid, I was scared ishless of that nonsense. Same with It. Like the original It with Tim Curry as Pennywise.
Oh, man, yeah.
And like you watch that when you were a kid, like clowns, bump that noise. Now you watch it back and it's like, really? I was scared of that thing? Damn.
Yeah, because now the technology is so much better.
No, like it doesn't, like that's a movie. It was so great when I was a kid. And then you watch it now and it's like the animation is so terrible because you're so used to what we can do now. And it's
like, I'm sure if I watch like a Friday the 13th or
they don't hold
something
up
like that,
they
I would
really
be like,
don't hold up.
I ain't scared of that thing. But like back when we weren't even that young. It's just, now with video games, you're kind of desensitized to everything right now. I think that's a good word.
Like, look at Avatar, right? Like, it's just so amazing what they can do. My brother's an animator, and like he had like it was like his final school project. Yeah. It's like his, you do a big long animation. It was really like probably 90 seconds long. And at the time, I remember, and this would have been 2000 and he graduated 02 or 01, something like that. Yeah. And at the time, it looked so cool. I'm like, man, this is amazing.
Can't believe
it's like
it.
It was like,
how did you do that?
How'd you do it? I look at it now, and I'm like, it's trash.
Well, now we have Fahad like sitting down there putting Elon Musk in like a burning Rivian vehicle
like the
or
AI
something
stuff.
like that. So there's lots of opportunities now with technology, and that's what makes the world go round. So once again, thank you everybody for watching today. Please make sure you hit the like and hit the subscribe. And the one person that you got to hit the like for.
Thank you, Ron.
Oh, Ron, super chat. What up, Ron? Ooh, it's on the board there. I almost feel like we need to. We're focusing obviously here on the live show, but maybe we can have like a little bit of not like a huge sound, because I know there's a lot of people that have the headphones, but just something, you know what, maybe that's a bad idea. We'll talk about that after, just because I miss that all the time.
It's easy.
That's why I'm trying to check the chats, but what did Ron say here? All right, shout out to you, Ron.
Was that the same one?
Taking... Yeah, no, it's because the super chat goes up there, but then we don't get the comment.
Right.
So we got to read it on here live on the show. Appreciate you guys giving great market insights and non-trading advice. Okay, perfect, man. Thanks, Ron. I hope you enjoy yourself taking a long break from trading. Well, enjoy your time off. There's a lot of people that say sell in May and go away. So you're getting close to that. I don't believe in anything like that, but I'm just telling you that's what people say.
It's too simplistic.
Yeah, I mean, the market could at any time rock and roll, but I do understand taking time off. Brendan back from vacation. I know you're going on vacation very soon, as am I. Spend time with family.
Baby.
Spend time, yeah, exactly. So go around the world, man. Spend as much time as you can everywhere and enjoy life while you can, because honestly, even my parents, right? And the thing is like once you get to a certain age, it's harder to travel. You can't walk around as much. You know, mobility becomes an issue and things like that. So shout out to everybody out there right
Fahad, are you gonna do
now.
it?
But okay, just quickly, if you come over to my chart here, Google, we got more out, man. I mean, these are small profits, but they're profits. So there's the short, average short in there, a couple times out at 05. We'll see if it breaks O's now back down to the downside. 105 flat. I'm going to put another order there. Let's go to, when I say flat, I'm going to put an 02 bid. Waiting for lower, but we are ready to get shut down. Not shut down. Stopped out if it takes 25, Brendo.
Yeah, he's going to try that basketball thing.
Can't hear Brendo.
Yeah, why am I not hearing?
On there because I didn't hear him in my ear,
Yeah,
but I hope all you did there. Mic was on. Okay, good.
Okay.
So everybody heard that. Okay, good.
Whoa!
Oh, was not on? Oh, well, that was good. Welcome back, Brendan.
So you guys didn't hear that?
Yeah, let's go. Are you guys?
But no,
ready
just
for-
very, very quickly, just before that happens, there was, I don't know, but there was just a bit of a spike going into the imbalances. NVIDIA just stopped out. Bit of a move to the upside there. Peloton still in that, feels like it's okay, but a big spike there, just in volume, in front of the imbalances. Are we going back to Brendan quickly? Okay.
There we go. SFR, 206%, guys. Little one, 55 million float, just halting there to the upside.
So.
All right, there we go. So
That's-
another low
that's late
floater
for a
right
halt.
there. It's a little late for this. Let's go, Google. It's not too late for you to let me do this. Am I getting the fill at 02 though? Am I getting the fill at 02 though? Right there. There's Google right now. A nice little win for us as we are at the highest spot we've been at all day. Told you we like that Google short against it, but it's not a huge trade, but it's a good one as Google just gives us that 02 right there. I love it when I'm giving you guys the prices that I'm bidding and then it comes through and fills us. And that would be another example of a passive order that pays me. So out right there on that one as Google, bring it down, baby. We only have now, guys, 20. I'll look at that SFR in a minute, but we do have the imbalances coming out right now.
No point. It won't open up.
Oh, it's halted, right? It won't
It's
open
too late
up.
in the day.
Yeah,
It's
good call on that one.
yeah.
Okay, so right now with 7 seconds and 5 seconds, we are live here in Toronto. 3:49, 57, 58, 59, and bingo, bango.
Bongo.
Possible bongo? I don't know. We'll see right now. So Google, we are out of half of our Google trade right now. I don't ever like holding anything into imbalances, so I'm going to punch out another piece
I
right
love
there
gold.
at 09. Gold. It's all about gold right there. Barrick Gold has been a good trade for me. I started buying that. Shout out to Michael Noss on gold. That's been a good trade.
There's
Where are
nothing
the
on here.
NASDAQ imbalances? Like, I don't see anything.
I see
I
nothing.
mean, the NQ is here. There are NASDAQ. but
CCL?
I just kind of mean, this looks like a big number, Brendo. I don't know what that wound up being there, but it seems lots of millions of shares on here with Corning. I haven't heard
my
about
goodness, you
Corning
won't-
in a while.
No, it's not big.
No, GLW. Well, you know why? They probably pair each other off. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell.
You don't even want to know
yeah,
what
it's
it
66 million. Shout out to Mario Lemieux. 66 is coming through. There's a Walmart sell. That might have affected Walmart a little bit.
Amazon's a sell.
Yeah, Amazon. Oh, Amazon. Oh, there's Amazon. That's a sell. Good. I mean, look at this out on Amazon, guys, that we had earlier. There it is, right there, right on the 200 period. So that was the long Amazon, long 105, out 107.50 right there. As we are now at the highest spot we've been at all day. We're 5 for 5, and I'm pretty happy to say that I think this is my largest day this month, which comes at the 21st. So that might not be accurate, but it's largest day in the last couple weeks anyways. So it's so far so good here. And hey, it's Friday. Like I said, maybe I need to go out drinking more. But all right, good so far, so far. You're welcome. Yannick there, he had the nice long off AMD. Congratulations on that one. And anybody that's short Google, I just took another piece out right now.
This thing is the tightest range I've
It's
ever
not
seen.
doing anything,
It's
but
ridiculous.
we'll ring the registers on it. But yeah, it's not doing anything.
Like, honestly, this entire last power hour, you have a 105 bottom, essentially. I mean, it had one wick underneath, and you have a 105.20 top. So really, trading inside the range was the only option available to you. There was nothing else you were doing with that stock, unless you just not trade it if you want to. But that's the one that is moving. NVIDIA wasn't on the imbalances. But I was
much
just,
was on here.
like, I just got out here. This is why you have stops, by the way. I will always have a trailing stop or a stop going into 350, but that's what just happened on NVIDIA. I didn't see a buy imbalance. I don't know why it's making that big of a push, but it is right back up to, let me get to the 15-minute chart. that has that wick on it, so that's pretty pointless. But you can kind of see, like, this was the support the last couple of days, kind of big levels up there at that 271. So NVIDIA with a big left turn just now, without there being an imbalance, I guess it doesn't need it. I just have Peloton left. I kind of wanted to see it flop through VWAP or get back to break even, nothing else there. Thank you very much, Ian, for the super chat. How do we think Amazon will do this earnings? To your best guess, of course, based on info out there on what they're doing. We're not financial advice givers per se. Is that even a thing? But they're doing the right things and they're cutting costs. And you have to remember, Amazon always kind of trades at a pretty decent premium. My thing about all these stocks that have, and yes, the long Amazon was good. I probably got out too early, too aggressively. But the thing about all these names that trade these premiums is they've been getting beaten up initially no matter what. So my gut is if it's the slightest thing wrong with it, you're probably going to see a decent retracement. And then what do we see across the board? There've been buy opportunities when you get those types of dips. Tesla kind of did it just the other day, and I think you could see the same thing with Amazon. You're kind of getting into a resistance zone anyways. I think it'll probably be a good buyout to 50 period, but my gut will kind of tell me that you're going to get punished for any slight miss, and that's going to be across the board. They're just going to pick one metric. They did it with Netflix, and that's going to tank it, and then it's going to bounce. That's what happened on Tesla. That's what happened on Netflix. Until proven otherwise, that's why things happening here too. Even all the banks did exactly the same thing. Find one little thing wrong, have them tank. Next day, it's just a long off the bottom.
Okay, so right here, I just tweeted something out. So it's 3:54. Actually, I'll get it. Let me let the tweet go out first before I show it. It's nothing major. I want to talk about it in a second here because we have a big week next week. All right, so I might just, you know what, man? I mean, we have 5 minutes to go. Let's see if something happens here into the imbalances for Google. We're out of more than half. We're out of actually 3/4 of our average position. Our average position was 12, and like Neil just mentioned, I don't want to talk about the same names over and over again, but that's my target. If we get out, we get out. We have the flip coming, hopefully the flippening coming here in just a matter of...
That's not the flipping
No, but it's going to be happening in about 10 seconds, so we'll see what happens with Google. My target is to get out right now if we break through 25. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
The flippening.
The flippening is the nothing.
The nothing
right
the nothing?
now. So wow, that was really dramatic.
The nothing from like the never-ending story.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun there. So I'm glad I previewed that as being so important. But okay, we'll go back over here into the home, and then I'm going to find my profile and just show you guys what I'm talking about right now. This is what it is right here. Go over on Twitter, Bears vs. Bulls, if you could put this in the chat. So I want to give a big shout out here to whoever Evan is right here. But look at all these names for next week. If you go show more, this is what's coming next week. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, XOM, Eli Lilly, CVX, all the big oil names coming. Merck, AbbVie, Coke, Pepsi, Amazon, Thermo Fisher, McDonald's, Texas Instruments, it goes on and on. I just gave, got to give credit where credit's due. I could have cut and paste this, but all this work there doesn't have Snapchat, but all these names, man, which ones excite me the most? Well, I mean, you don't have to go too far. It's going to be the top 2 or 3 names on there, but I'm asking all of you, which names? Because maybe there's something. I think McDonald's could be interesting. We talk about them continuing to break 52-week highs on McDonald's. I think it might be even all-time highs on McDonald's. Caterpillar, I feel like, is an interesting name. And then you always mention GE.
Well, don't sleep. GE's been a beast. That's why one thing there. But don't sleep on Verizon after AT&T was
Chipotle.
We talk about Tesla. AT&T was down more than Tesla yesterday.
Yeah.
Tesla was a quadunk out of not out of nowhere, but to end all quadunks. It was down almost 11% at one point. But AT&T was a better short. And it was a short that you could actually have. Yeah. I think it was insane. So I'm not going to sleep on Verizon. It's a busy week, but we're here every single day to make sure we curate that. Brendan does a fantastic job with the watch list. We try to narrow it down the best we can. It's never perfect, but that's why we ask you to hit the like and the subscribe, because we're doing it here for you guys for free. Oh my goodness, as fast as NVIDIA got up to the top, it's already reversing. So something did happen at 355. It wasn't what you were looking at, but NVIDIA reversed big time at 355. So it jammed to the upside. That's why you have stops. 355 happened, and it flushed. I didn't see an imbalance on it, but it still decided to react at exactly that time. And Super SPAC Man, you're right. I was chatting there with him about Amazon and Rivian because they are losing money, obviously, on that. And I think a lot of it's priced in. But, yes, they do reset. I mean, every time it goes lower, it is worse for them. But we all know this. And Rivian, by the way, bounced off the bottoms. At least it's got that going for it. But a crazy move here in NVIDIA to end the day. And I forgot to tee this up, but Fahad, so there was a conversation happening during lunch, and a couple of the traders were doing some tricks like Harlem Globetrotter style in the kitchen, which is a weird place to do it because they could break dishes. But then Fahad showed me something. I'm like, you got to do that when you ring the bell. So he has a bit of a trick for you, or a treat for you guys. Maybe it'll be a trick, who knows. At the bell, that'll be in 2 minutes. He's a man of many talents, I'll give him that. Like Fahad, you guys, you see like 1/10 of the talents that Fahad does have. You're about to see a little bit of it. Not to build him up too much there, but I think it's going to be fun. No pressure.
Exactly. I think this is going to be fun into the close. So thanks, Fahad.
You got it, bro.
And thanks everybody for doing all this. And if he misses it, he misses it. It's fine.
The man doesn't miss.
The man does not miss. So we're going to come up for that right now. Thank you again for everybody watching today. It's been a good show, man, a really good show. And it's Friday, so enjoy your weekend and spend it with family and friends and everybody. And like I said, man, we're going to be going to Hyde Park. You might maybe see me there tonight with my family and my little cockapoo. We'll be running around in the dog off-leash park, which is absolutely amazing at Hyde Park. Shout out to the City of Toronto for that. But okay, and Go Leafs Go, man. And
what.
Good luck to every.
Let's go, baby.
We haven't used that camera in a long time. I like that one.
Which one was that?
The side one here. There it is. Hey, what's up?
Oh.
Right now, earpiece, everything we're ready to go is how we hear Brendan and everybody there at the show. So thank you so much for everything. All right, we've only got a minute left. Yeah, I want to say shout out to everybody in your teams. Good luck to whoever your team is in the NBA. The NBA players have been pretty hot fire right now. So has NHL. A lot of even series, and it's funny that Kawhi didn't play last night. Man, if that guy's healthy, the Clippers, that's a great series.
It's such a different team.
Clippers versus Suns, great series. All right, we got 30 seconds left. Is he going to try this now or on the bell?
He's going to do it on the bell. On the bell? After the bell? What do you want to do?
Let's do it now. Okay,
put it on right now. Let's do it.
Only 30 seconds ago. Here we go. Here, let's see what Fahad's got. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, take your time. Here we go. No, hold on. There's a light right on my way. He is not lying about this. There are...
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what he's talking about right there with only 5, 4, 8, 7, 6. Good job, man. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. So that was that right now. At least the thing about Fahad is he may never play in the NBA, but he can be a Harlem Globetrotter. Yes. That is for sure.
That was some Globetrotter stuff right there. I mean, I don't know, bounce off your head and keep it spinning.
I like that.
That's legit.
That.
That's legit. That's a kind of weird.
Too much time on his hands, but I like that.
It's the kind of weird thing like that would happen on the trading floor every now and then, like just randomly messing around with the basketball.
Random talents.
Yesterday they were playing golf into the coffee cup, and today it was tricks with the basketball at lunchtime.
Someone just said that one of the greatest things here, Fahad, and I know you're thinking about different ideas and stuff like that. How about this for either a YouTube page or something like this? Feats of Fahad, like not your actual foot.
No, feats of
like accomplishments. It means like what can Fahad achieve? Like the feats of whatever. I can't think
this
of
is not some kind of weird fetish, man. Like no one actually wants to see your feet.
Wow, Fahad. This guy also going to be opening up a OnlyFans where he shows his feet. Apparently, feats of Fahad. But I really do like that one.
No judgment.
I ain't judging that. Didn't some female start selling something wrapped like she was passing wind, selling it in like a Ziploc bag?
It was bathwater.
Oh, bathwater. I think I'm right as well. I think there's a bathwater and something else into that as well. But okay.
No, I got some judgment on that one. I can't say no judgment.
Hey, man, get your own. Get yours. Regardless of what it is, man, make that money no matter which way. But if you're in the market, you will be interested to know that we do have a market recap right now with Brendan.
Oh, that.
Yeah, we go down, we go up, we end the day basically where we started. It's not terribly exciting. I just checked though, all three U.S. markets going to be negative on the week, but only just, not huge moves across the board, pretty muted as we've seen. But that is how things end the day, guys. 4.8 now downside for Ethereum down there.
Yeah, I'm going to get a haircut next week, and my conversation with the barber, unless there's a bounce, it's always the same thing. What's going on with crypto? Why isn't crypto? It's like, what do you want me to tell you, man? Like, what do you want me to tell you? And he's in some of these stink coins, too. Shit coins, you know.
Well, he had an opportunity to sell them.
Dude, he sold all, you know what, I'm not
Hopefully he got out.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you haven't talked to him.
He's a great guy. I'll talk to him next week.
You just know he hasn't got out yet. So, okay. Well, guess what turned green? The NASDAQ. So if you got to update Streamlabs, I did bet.
It did? Oh, yes.
Yeah, I did bet 20% of my total holdings on green, and we did turn green. So thank you, Brendan, for that. Welcome back, Brendan. It's obviously great to have everybody back and in full force. Sharif, not here right now. Or, no, that's Mark. I thought that was maybe Sharif coming to run. But thanks to Sharif filling in, obviously, Brendan. I know you caught some of that. He did a fantastic job for you. But it is nice to have you back. And thanks to Sharif and Max and everybody. Thanks to our great production crew. I guess you're taking it easy this weekend there, Brendan?
Yeah, it was obviously a long week. So I'm still extremely jet lagged.
Extremely.
I'm surprised you're holding up this well. Like, good job.
It's like 2 a.m. right now in my body, so it's all good.
Okay. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. All right. So let's go, man. Streamlabs updating everything. I want to thank everybody for watching today. Like we already said, have a great weekend. And we are back at 8:30. Again, thanks to Bears vs. Bulls, and thanks to everybody watching right now. Thanks to Fahad for that cool trick. And we are back on Monday, 8:30, for Brendan, Neil, and myself. It's Trader TV Live. And have a great weekend.
Go Leafs, go.